DStv in the radio Yatnasio. Yatnasio. Attention Asempa Wano we bravo. I don't think Monteye na ya Shishaboye. Monteye na ya Fabo. Monteye ya dia Semfo Frabo. Obia to Linkaya. Never Sadia Samnote. I never can sa. Yes, Roto, yes, Roda, yes, Robi, Biara, Make ya home. Okay, Yadi no kranya misro akukudro yadi ye juma Ewi asem omaimu sem abaya sem abatu sem uye boni ayebeka uye papa yebeka Kenya City ni radio Yatnasio Attention Asempa Wano we bravo King Jesse Radio, King Jesse TV, so party Ashadia, and yet Siesha.
Evening, Kwame Bediako. Good evening. Welcome. Make yourself comfortable. Welcome.
Thank you.
I hope you're well.
Right.
All right, how's it been for you? My usual question to our guests, how campaign has been?
It's been great. Great experience. I think Ghanaians have shown a lot of love and commitment, and that has not just pushed me, but also uplifted me. So it's been great.
All right, how challenging has it been, knowing that it's the first time you're actually moving into such space to campaign?
Yeah, well, challenges have always been what I like the most because we can't run away from them. You just need to make sure you overcome whatever challenges in life to see the next phase of life. So I might not want to go deeper.
Our candidates actually have for the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation if they win the 2024 elections. So I'm asking you the same question.
Oh, sure.
All right. What plans do you have for the GBC?
Well, I think GBC has the potential to become a continental broadcaster, like BBC doing in Europe and now coming across to Africa. But GBC would probably, Ghana would need to help GBC by dissolving some other media companies into GBC to let it expand and grow. And for me to also support GBC to do that, the first thing I would like to do is to also tell GBC not to take orders from above anymore, but take orders from above anymore.
Do we take orders from above?
Oh, that's the last time. That's what I was told, because this is I was not meant to even come to GBC, and this is the national broadcasting.
You were meant not to come to GBC.
Yeah, because I said to myself when I woke up and came here at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And went to the makeup room.
Okay.
Waited for 45 minutes.
Okay.
Only to be told that the interview is cancelled, and I asked why, and they said orders from above.
You were told orders from above?
Yeah, so I would think that for GBC to become an international continental broadcaster, some of these things, first of all, they will need to clean up about it.
Okay.
You know, to be regarded as great person or a great company, reputation lives longer than you, and you need to make sure that you protect that.
But at least you're here this evening.
Well, I mean, like I said, I respect my country. I respect all the institutions in the country. I think that there was an apology after we made up, and I don't hold any grudges. But I like to be upfront, transparent, and always speak the truth.
All right, good to know. All right. Now, to all social media handles, we're live on Facebook, that's GTV Ghana, or also Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. On X is GTV Ghana. On YouTube is Ghana.
The motherland, where I belong to, the soil that I was created from. For the people in this country, I love. I stand by. And I know in return, they love me too. But I know that this should be the definition of Ghana. We standing for ourselves and not standing by our tribes. It's great for us to choose a better mentality over our nationality. So I want to use this moment to tell Ghanaians how grateful I am. In the past 9 months of this trials and tribulations of the new force becoming the new face that stepped into the industry of politics, there has been a tremendous support from Ghanaians. God bless Ghana, and God bless the people of Ghana. Now, I came from a family that should not give up and will not give up. Hence my name Bediako. It started from my father. My grandmother had 9 children. My father was the 9th one, and he was the only one that survived. So that's where my name Bediako came from, meaning that I came to fight to win. My father had a lot of children. To say that he was a polygamist, but for a better reason, he didn't want to be a one child left in this world. He wanted to leave his seed all over. Today, one of his seed has sprung up to support a nation that is underdeveloped, a nation that have greatness but is undermined. And I happen to be that young man that have embarked on this journey to support my country, to build the nation, to develop this country, and make sure that I don't leave my country and this world the way I came to meet it. Adding value to society is part of the mission and the vision that I have in this world. I would like to say that a lot of people have considered me as a businessman. Some think I'm a developer. Some might think I'm an industrialist, entrepreneur. Well, today I'd like Ghanaians to know that I'm a humanitarian. I'm a philanthropist. Helping people is what makes my soul happy. Changing society, building and creating value, and seeing the value become a reality. That's where I get my buzz from. That's what makes me feel like I am fulfilling my purpose of being here. I like to say to Ghanaians that we're not lucky to be here. We should remember that there's no such thing as luck. Chances will always come for the prepared minds. And once you're alive, just remember that you've been sent here to be a part of a particular purpose. You can add value to one person, and one can add value to thousands of people. But that contribution is what makes the world go round and the world go on. I'm glad to be a part of that. Last year, I decided that I would risk the business that I do and the wealth that I've built and start to go after a legacy. And that legacy is to be a part of history. That history is to make sure that I dictate my story so it can be told by storytellers. So I decided to embark on this journey by being a part of this political industry, knowing very well that I didn't have any political experience. Fairly, I knew I was not one. But I've always been a leader. I've been a leader since I was 8 years old. I've had my friends believing in me as much as I believed in them. And one would have thought that they should follow me, but I always went to them when they needed me. And that's when my leadership skills started. I've grown with it. And I have formed companies with it. I've built companies and they become successful. I've learned how to not only make money or create wealth, but also to manage it. And I've learned how to share it proportionally. I've learned how to invest and not spend so I can get returns from my investment. I've learned how to deal with humans, the human relations, and how to make sure that all relationships are maintained and managed with equal respect. I have grown in different industries. I've been in the fashion world. I've been in the telecommunication world. I've been in the industry of real estate. And I've been in a few more other industries, which every one of them, I did pretty well, as much as I had a total focus or concentration on what I was doing. One would have thought that if you are successful, then you've had enough, that you should relax. But life tells you that you should make the best out of your time. See, I'm not here to live life to the fullest. I'm here to use the time that I've been given in a very wise way, so I can beat time and create a lot of things, a lot of wealth, and share it proportionally, leave a will behind before my time is up. For that reason, I know that my time is not enough, and I'm always using it wisely. Hence, one of the reasons why I stood up at the age of 44 to say that I want to be a leader of a country that have gained their independence almost 70 years, but I haven't been able to gain their economic freedom within that 70 years. So that became a purpose why I started. Well, when I started,
So there we have it. So let's put our hands together.
But I'm sorry, as a young businessman who have become a leader, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, I think it does not make sense to borrow money to pay salary. When you borrow money, you need to have at least a very well-defined method, an executive summary of your, should I say that, of your actual plan, how you're going to get your returns when you invest the money, so you can pay for the debt whilst you create wealth out of it. Now, the problem is, in the past 32 years, our leaders have piled up this debt, and it keeps going up. And now it's catching up to be our GDP. I wanted to completely change it by making sure that I introduce one, which is the 16th Regional Industrial Revolution. The reason why we want every single region to be revolutionized is because we New Force believe in three core principles. The principle one is equity. Where is the equity of the people? Every region deserves to have something within that region. If they are the custodial owners of that land, they deserve to have jobs. They deserve to create wealth there. They don't have to come all the way to Accra before they become successful. You're looking at England. There are people who live in Manchester and they've never been to London, but they have everything. They have a best football team there. They have all the malls. They have
Sunday for
Is the water. In fact, when you look at our country, one of our main source of transportation by importing goods into our country is by water. So we are supposed to use the water, one, for logistics and for transportation. Two, we're supposed to use the water to support our irrigation system. Irrigation system is putting pipelines on the ground so you can feed the ground with water. It's 2024. Why do we still wait for a rainy season before we can plant food? If that's what America or Europe did, then they won't be able to feed 300 million people. So they feed the ground and they feed the crops the right nutrients by industrializing the ground. So irrigation became something that had to be added to the second pillar, which is the water transport. The water transport, it's supposed to unite us as a country. That's what I think God gave us the water for. It's so you're supposed to be able to cross from Afram to Kou, from Kou or from Afram to Volta. And you're supposed to be able to have ferries going up and down, okay? Transporting goods and doing business. All of that business that you're seeing on the water of ferries going up and down is job creation. And it's also exchange of something. But we left the water sitting. In fact, when we were going through the 276 tour to tour around the whole Ghana, the whole of Afram crossing to another region had only one ferry. And everybody have to keep waiting for it. But they had market and sending all this yam and everything. When the yam gets there are no factories to process the yam. Yam can be sold in powdered yam. I will sell powdered yam to Nigerians. They're 287 million. If Ghanaians can manufacture powdered yam, they will buy it because they only eat pounded yam. So you can see that it's a target that Ghana have a massive packaging process just for yam, and then we can sell it to another country. Now, the point I'm trying to make is, with all the things that we're talking about in the pillars, if you follow it, you're going to see that we have brought Ghana a real 12 pillars. The third thing was to increase our power in electricity so we can have the right tariffs that makes it affordable and makes this country investor friendly for people to come. In the same pillars, you're going to see that we have reserves. Reserves by making sure that we keep what belongs to us. That is our wealth. That reserves is today being extracted by foreigners. Now, I'm not saying that foreigners should not come here and do business, but I'm also saying that no African or Ghanaian can just go to America and start digging their ground and taking what belongs to them and going out. You get a job or you assist a company or an industry. That's what we're bringing here. We will bring the Chinese, but they will come to work. They're not coming to take the concessions from us. They will work, and out of that, our children will learn from the skill set and gain the skill set of whatever they're doing. Today, you have a lot of companies that have come and opened our mountains wide and taken the gold. But when they left with all the machines, and we don't understand how to do hard rock mining or even colluvial mining, so we're doing illegal mining, which you call galamsey, and unfortunately, that have destroyed all our water body. Now these water bodies are going through the ground and starting to feed the crops that we eat from. I think Ghana is facing some crisis, and it's not just economic crisis. You also have social crisis. You have a lot of crisis, and Ghana needs some sort of emergence politically. I believe that I represent a force that can stand against the duopoly and to be a part of whatever that is happening, so the youth can also be the voice of empowering leadership. Now, by doing so, we have already realized that we have some problems in our parliament. The parliament has been formed from the 276 constituencies that every one of them have an MP. I have been to the constituencies, and 85% of them is not functioning, is not working. This is the time for us to give Ghana a real challenge by choosing one of the young people as well to become a part of this entire governance that stands for the nation, that stands for the country, that makes sure that whatever parliamentary winning chip for the country, and change the narrative of politics and change the way this nation is governed and built. Thank you very much, Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much for your presentation. Off with industrialization, which happens to be a very strong point in most of the presentation that you've made so far. I mean, if you look at the African continent itself, and Ghana included, it's been the promise.
Ebusia mamema mwajo na mema mwakwaba mfamra Kens DStv so na yenchi ya munyina bio na yende urade asese wamanya akwanya bio na yasan ebehia amsa nana Kwame Bediako Eko GBC, and in fact, I know this and watchina and ne fear day ebia na they going to give another aspirant and so a quine now but you can attest to the fact say obi obaba bia bakasa bia no in sama nana Kwame Bediako etimi approve egu ho. Na we want answers to questions by no ya no mfu eba omo politics na no mo ba be they are coming to do politics. I don't think they will let Baumia come. A beer na Baumia mba na so baba nso a me assure said there will be a selected people to ask questions. And you'll be an Abema Korkor questions. Even before they will remove GBC, Hono. In fact, they will select questionnaires Nefi Baby and Sana Yamanaba. But I don't think Baumia will come. Let's see what happens. But sure, it doesn't take you, or it should not take you one day even to change your mind. If you really think you want a better future for your children's children, for your unborn children, you don't need to be convinced with sweet words from Yanum Fwe. In summer, Nana Kwame Bediako, assign Akegu and they Shigu and our GBC. And I am happy he was bold. I will run the Busan say, and if you are doing Hunubang and a woman GBC, Nana Kwame GBC. A national asset and say Africa's BBC or the two BBC near the CNN and near the one and say GBC drew into a who here say you better me use the word order from above to a citizen. Nipa no kranso onkuta adwene bone nemum esam propaganda any politics in tea. Politics etimia cover a whole national institution so inti ye hu GBC say e your man dia na mum ye hu GBC say e ye party dia eno na oba obehwe say enioma bebre ho a ese say yetimi esiesie e wo ho. I wonder, let Baumia Mahama wa be minim so betimi aka bribi, but let Baumia come na emisano the same question. Nankashe answer Obama. GBC is there for everything, everybody in Ghana. Anka die bia efa omang no ho a obiri ye no, GBC must be proud to publish it, to publicize it. But in there, they take order from above to suppress the ordinary people who have potential to build the country. Ene na ensama na Kwame Bediako wa pregu ho minim se wa wutie bi no emane nye wehi emane nye wakoma ehi se obesesa wadwen enne ne kine ya no waka say for once he's not in to do politics. Every angle Bia Yebisa a question, he touched base on that and he was able to answer a pragmatic answer to every question that was asked. Yanuma Nkebakacha said, if I do this when I come, what would I have to do again? I would not have a manifesto. That is what will happen. But I want to congratulate Nana Kwame Bediako. So utia na pay kasa mene ne vice ne running mate kan ya. Ah my God. Cotton wanoma. Inti people are yearning to see to the six na ye unveil omwenim no akane hu because usha Hubert ne economic management head na young boy 38 years na abemu ne kasa utum say this is a true Ghana son but say be yan mpanimfo be ma na kwan akwaye problem we me yahye say almost na questionnaires no de sane na Kwame Bediako say ongo true na waba oman ni ne hian ba yanom de o maybe say question line or maybe sir kakra. Now there were questions, important questions people asked, and you're gonna hear important answers Nana Kwame Bediako also gave them. Let me give credit to GBC and GBC Radio, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Yabasiramo, where the Mamo Yamadjin said, yeah, boy, mobile blockade adia copyright. GBC Yesramo ya said yes say yebema Ghana for obibia wante na Kwame Bediako yenso yebetre nsem ne mu normally me yama me ye bibina me kofa fi DStv ana GBC pe na omo ablock me ya but emfane kwem enso me ka say me aso masum GBC anye ya for 2 years masum GBC. I was a contract staff 2006 up to 2008. I served there. Inti anye yanka monso ma ye bibina mabefa me madwuma mu ade na me so me kan ho den na mo besi me kwan inti we dia metoto sra mo hwe na ma anko block me anko je me copyright my madwuma
of almost every administration within Africa to industrialize, and same here. I mean, we've hosted I think 10 presidential candidates. You're the 11th one.
No,
sorry,
it's 11 presidential candidates. I'm the 12th one.
No, I'm just saying that. Here.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the president of Ghana.
No. I'm talking the one with.
No.
That's fair enough. All right, and there's one thing that cuts across all of them.
The entire president that Ghana have had since the
same here. First of all, let's look at what the problem is and how you are going to fix the problem when it comes to industrialization. Why are we still not getting it right when it comes to industrialization?
Afa question obisano industrialization crowd ya mode afa na bobo ano dodo mo twafufuo mo na tonkwan mu adena sila we are not getting it right. Industrialization muntie nana and sama opregu ho about the answer he gave.
This question have a few answers because there are many problems now. So your answer would make will bring your question will bring a lot of answers. But the first problem is leadership. You have leaders who don't understand investment and development. You have leaders that only understand spending for budget. So most of these leaders have come from either university or studying politics or social something. And then all of a sudden, they give them a template and a program how to become a politician. And then somebody gives them a capital and they start to campaign. And then they use a strategy by either paying for people's stamp, which I think that is not politics.
Yakache na Ghana folk kasa nipa no even in Santreni wosi wonim na dwuma kra kache no say wo kra de unkuta university degree, so how can you become a president in Santreni bisa no. And Osambisa say you have not gone through this political terrain. May assemblyman da, may MP da, your ministerial appointment da, anything in politics da. How this is the question they asked him. When Asama Waka Adwina she papa we trimu kura no wonuma ekọ university kwaye political science for was yo eno no person modern antiquate. They cannot match Nana Kwame Bediako. Bring the so-called politics. No on channel say sabin producer politics near the say your mind into do baby and your politics in your mind ye.
That's illegal politics, and then they just get the position. Now, what I want to tell Ghanaians is that if you let somebody, invest in your thumb and they give you money, remember, once they take the power in your thumb, they're also going to take the wealth on your land. So that's what is happening. And that doesn't let our leaders think about being fair and creating a platform for equality. Okay? And so if Ghanaian leaders understand investment and development, they would see that $1 billion can go into plants. Not only would that plant generate 5 billion in a space of 2-3 years, but it would also create maybe 50,000 jobs. So you're closing the gap of the unemployment and you're gaining value from what you're actually importing. Now you're industrializing it locally. So you don't waste the time of putting in 2 months for your people to gather your CD.
Yetimi disika twitwiri de ko wura business mu se me ye business na ono nko ate ho forget inside de na wo ye no se your man ne de dia. You need to think about how that thing is going to create employment for the people. Now the moment you create employment, you have expanded the business. Ewrade why banie why na wo abrante we Ghana for a time kwa otanhunala kwa ena oye Illuminati ena oye hwan all quarto and Freemason, a whole lot of shit and ye ka go no so na sabin producer Illuminati ninsema woken kura penimfo transbom tiasiko Illuminati boy na dwini enye Illuminati atwene I ready adedu twem okot mani ninsema die sofo kura sabe sofo bimo entimi nkansema ebetimi akekere man sei into a time hunu kwa ye de kansam fon egu no so ya obenya neo kaya obagese hey boy woni me no ho wo de akọ UK na kobisa na say information bia na mfufu bia sane afa me e de afa na kwa me ho ama me wo de me de be ma no wetie me hu asokura. You have not had an encounter with him, but obi and asano information about na Kwame Bediako ntia no wugina so wo de crucify ne baby nansia na neo kai waju kakra ya enana pure bias the new force na ebuzia enanso ade ne ba bia wo enam wedwuma ma na aminipa no ofreye abe nam sesa na o mama wedwuma na wontimi nya ana odi akotra o chana no so na o yes rough no ho no wontimi nya ka wano tumi e wona o hie ska na meboa na wenye ska na za wonya ande sesa wa wona wo bre nam so oh really medase mia na mebre medase I will enjoy it but men so say sika we de men kwaje me hie sika pa hie sika bitia bedeka me hie sika pa na nso say sika we enye no na magye e ma de ahoto abra me kra se intimi nko grupu nkrofo na me ntreni won kochi wo mo se America high tea, your friend is so met in New Jersey. Na last year, me call grocery shops. Me call even tin tomato. Not last year, no more ton 50 cents. And that tin tomato, bako ye $2. Into a wiase, baby I ding. Na my recorders are obviously different products from different people. Na me the Ama na MPP food the Ama big stations. No, now when Sanya Gum now, even America for crown say a wiase baby ayede nje general as some way men kwaye na me meje ho be $5,000 inti manye ma ye frame twaboro me na machine boss we de obuo ne diem me mbo ne de o kana me se ma mbo odi o radio nti obi anim se peze me kana kasakwa nti obi anim se wa nti de ma ye ntoa so you can see say even MPP na all position on limpa say wan mobra wan yade na mbom opese yen jintum na yen brand the decorated donkey yen decorate no o see a decorated donkey is still an ounce yen brand no say tibia ade na say kra yen fa no say eye papa inti media se ono omo abani wini a ende mi amensampa mamemfre no nam se mate mo abani wini a memfre me mehia bibi sabe enyam pipi na de mba ha me enyam pipi ne tua meka anye yia no de atibia no yenya kakra de kakra ma ye maame e mo de tena nti enyam pipi na hwe yen nti se wo se ba me wini a mamemfre wa oho na meka sa akire no and yedi Ankomah and the brushing off. So you can see said he meant what she told me. She meant it. Senior President Tuaso.
And turn it to dollars and go and give it to the owner outside and bring it back. You hit them with taxes, 50% taxes. Then they sell it also times 10 what they paid for it, which means they're clearing all the money in the system. And then they go out again and do the same thing. So if you look at Ghana today, the average Ghanaian is a petty trader. He's not part of any private sector. The private sector is the government. The government is the one doing the business. The politician gives the contract. So he's turned the people who have potential to become industrialists into contractors. And they do paperwork and then they try to do a road contract, and that's the same money he went to borrow that he's using taxes money, taxpayers' money to pay the interest of the money he borrowed. Okay. So we're stuck in the same circle, and I think that Ghana needs to wake up that if our leaders are not doing that, then it's time that we change the leaders. And that's what I stand for. That's why I'm here.
Right. So leadership is the main reason we are not able to industrialize.
It's just the main, and you find a way to spend your capital on some budget reasons. It could be judgment debt. It could be salaries.
Okay.
Well, if you don't have any business that gives you returns, and you pay the salaries. Whatever capital you have, you might pay the salary for the next 6 months by your cut. And that capital is very hard to come by.
Wow.
If you go to the bank, they might tell you, bring your mom's certificate, bring your house, bring your business, bring this, before they give you even 5% or 10% of the actual capital you were holding. So I think that Ghana needs people that understand money. Okay. How to handle it well, and how to make sure it's invested properly and is shared proportionally.
Ahina banie. Yeah, why banie? Sha Ghana afi 2024 imukurano seminsromika. How many times na yede besia etua edwumayefo ka? Yakobo besia me cancer recently about says Ghana nkwaji loan a wo ntimi ntua workers ka. This thing happened. Now what me Yakobo besia betua edwumayefo ka? The question here is that besia na akwaji na wabacha edwumayefo no edie na betimi guarantee returns. Because you can ukwaji ya no what they be most me so nkodi na mo problem na abana amen ti wenti mi enya mfaso bia na okobo besia no you have not resolved it. Adwene ekasa.
You know, it's what we are lacking. So you become a template that Africans will start to replicate it. Remember, the young people are very intelligent because they were born in the era of technology. Okay, so these Gen Zs and millennials, you know, they're fast thinkers. In fact, the new forces economist is 28 years old. You know, one would have thought that I need to go and find a 60 or 70-year-old man who has to push us because they have information, data, and intel. Looking at most successful people who are contributing to the economy of America or China, most of these people are under 50. From Zuckerberg to you name it. And if someone is 75, then they were made in their 30s. An example is Bill Gates. You know, he was a billionaire in his 30s, and he's continued to manage the billions till he's now maybe in his 80s or heading to 80s. And I think that's what we need in Ghana. We need billionaires in Ghana.
They are with the people, so the people actually select some of us to become our leaders. You are with the people. So what's going to be different about your leadership that, of course, represents the kind of people and the kind of leadership that you're complaining that we lack?
Well, selecting a leader is a great thing, but I don't think that's the practice in our democratic process. And give them money and convince them, or give them rice, or give them food. They starve the people. I mean, that is not leadership. I don't know what you call that, but it looks like a political something. I don't know. We're yet to find the right name in the dictionary for whatever is happening in Ghana. But I don't call that leadership. You know, I don't call that a selected leadership. You know, if you want to be selected, be the people's people. Let the people understand you. Don't corrupt them. Don't bribe them. Don't buy them. Okay? Have a purpose for them to benefit from. Don't have a program that is full of promises that in the end they meet empty promises, and every time they're waiting for another one like a bubble, but it will burst. I think these are the changes that we need in Ghana as a country. And I want to say that don't look at me as a wild child who is trying to, you know, step in front of the big boys. No, I'm a very respectful kid, but I have to tell it as it is, okay? And I want Ghanaians to understand that if somebody else was in my shoes now doing what I'm doing, I would support them, because real recognize real, and game do too.
Okay, all right. My quick final question, and Doreen will actually come in. You talked about having 12 ministers.
Yeah.
Going through your manifesto: trade, energy, finance, education, health, justice, agriculture, interior, foreign affairs, tourism, business and employment, and then defense. With your experience in housing and real estate, one was thinking that you could have added housing to it, because we have serious housing deficits in this country and housing challenges in here.
Yeah.
So how come we don't have it in here? With your experience, of course.
So first of all, the deficits of our housing issues is 1.7 million. It's a very big issue.
Yeah.
It means that you have almost 10 million people homeless.
Yes.
If one family is to 3.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yes.
But what is the point of having a local housing ministry and paying about 400 people
when you haven't actually created a platform, an integrated industrial platform that has created the jobs that can make the people afford for the housing if you were to build them. So people ask me, why don't you do low-income housing, this, that? Look, it's very expensive to create the basic infrastructure for 1,000-acre project. You might spend 20 million without putting one building on the land before you start, right?
Okay.
And then if your target is to sell a house for $20,000 because it's low income, you probably need 20 million.
Yeah.
So you need to start selling volumes of tens of thousands before you start to see profit.
Wow.
If you haven't created the jobs for this nation that you are trying to build the local housing or low-cost housing for them, how are they going to pay for it? See, that's why we have thousands of homes sitting there and no one is using it, because they tell us that it's low-income housing, and then when they finish, $60,000. $60,000 is 1 million Ghana. Who is getting paid 5,000 cedis that can save money to pay 1 million cedis house? You see, these things don't work, the numbers. And that's why we want to take 88 of the existing non-functional ministerial platforms out. Because the first thing that is going to do for Ghana is that it's going to save Ghana money. That 88 ministries being shut down is going to save them money. It doesn't mean that in future we're not going to activate some of them. But when the time is right, today in our hospitals, okay, there's a system in Ghana. Pay before you leave. Don't pay, you die. That's what you go to the hospital for.
There's national health insurance.
Well, no, please, it does not work for the people, else they won't be dying. Okay, they go to the hospital. They ask you to pay first if it's emergency before they even look at you. When you go to anywhere in the world, okay, I don't know how they've worked or crafted their health insurance, but the human life matters first before they will find out how to get paid once your life is saved. In Ghana, is the opposite. And why is that? I also think that it's because the hospitals know definitely if they don't take the money, you will not have the money to pay. Yes, because 90% of the country is broke. So even if I tell you that I'm going to build you hospitals, I'm lying to you. Because if I bring somebody to invest in the hospitals, in 3 years, he will bankrupt. Because he will have 10,000 people, 9,000 people will be dying and say, please save me, but they don't have the money.
So what will your health ministry do then?
Well, we said it all. We brought you a simple thing. We said that let's bring a SNIT revolution to turn the SNIT claims into a national corporate insurance for everyone that pays into that cost. They can reassess that money in the next 5 years, but it's also insurance. So whatever that claim is can be times 10. So let's say your SNIT now is 5,000 cedis. Your insurance claim can be 50,000 to 70,000 cedis. Now the average Ghanaian can use 25,000 of that to get a home for 2 years. Just rent. Okay? And then they can use that 20,000 to save themselves if they have to pay for their health when they get to the hospital so they don't die. They can also use the rest to support their children. Okay?
Na Kwame okusia sa nyoma we nyina wo hefa. Yeah, when your friend Ghana ba. ET Trends Hub, I say, Auntie Akwele, Auntie Kwale, Banini, hey, now why Bani? Ghana, SMP, you, Musamumpe. A dear Bayayan, Tuaso.
Instead of leaving the same SNIT money with an institution for the government that they keep it for 40 years before they make you access it. Some people die and they don't even look for their children to give the claims of the SNIT to. So some of the things, they were supposed to be good in the past, but they're not functional right now in the modern world. We need to revamp and change some of these things to suit
the modern culture that we live by.
Okay, let me hand over to Doreen now, and we'll pick some questions. Obviously, she has some questions too. Then we'll get more from our audience too. Yes, Doreen.
George, thank you so much. This is my favorite part of the conversation because I get to get some responses and reactions from the audience and also get you to answer their questions. So first I'll start with mine. We had just the special voting just yesterday. I'm sure you were monitoring, and so you knew what happened. The reports of impersonations, reports of sharing of things that are not supposed to be shared, and other issues raised. I would want to find out from you what you think about the entire process yesterday. Please hold on to that. Let me get for some questions from my audience, please.
I would like to answer your question first, because what I don't want...
There's a notebook, just note them. So
I know, but what I don't want is to have 7 questions.
We're having 3.
We are just having 3 questions.
We're having 3, so just note them.
Okay.
And then you move into 10.
I don't want to become a teacher here. I'm
no,
a president.
you don't
I will not make you a teacher.
Okay. So just note them. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. It's good you don't want to be a teacher.
Their payment is not good. They can't survive. I would have loved to teach people, but the money is just not enough. They can't pay for their electricity bills, their water bills, their wife, and their children. And it's one of the things I would like to do for teachers, nurses, and service people of this country. We're halfway from people. If we are to teach our children to become presidents one day, then why do you undermine them and underpay them?
My question is on education.
Okay.
What?
Your name first, yeah.
Okay, my name is Dr. Harriet, and in your election campaigns, and how will that influence teachers' decisions in general in the voting process? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for that question. We'll take our last question for this round.
Thank you. You spoke about agric to feed the country. Currently, you can see that farmers are using the 19th century way of farming. What plans do you have for farmers in Bungurugu or Suwani who want to expand their farm? Because machines are very expensive now. What is your government going to do to help farmers to expand food production?
Didn't tell us your name and where you're coming from.
Pius from Uti.
Okay, Pius, good. All right, so we have 3 questions. We'll start with that of Doreen, the special voting that ended yesterday, what you make of it, and various issues that came out of it, though.
Okay. So, I also thought that all of this nonsensical, our voting, our political future aim, whatever that is going on. So what I am doing is that I pray for this country. I pray for this nation. I actually just finished a Thanksgiving tour after my 276 constituency tour. And every church I went to sort of sow a seed in the church, asking them to pray for Ghana so we can have a peaceful election and to be able to move forward. I just want to say to you that the chaos is too much for anyone to try and fix that. I would advise any young person, any old person, to focus on how we can work towards a change than how to sit or stand and try to address problems. Addressing the problems is one, but finding solution for the problems that you are addressing is 2. So if you are going to now apply the solutions, it's 3. The question I'm asking myself is that, would I have the time to follow someone that has fed someone in the queue and someone that has caused some problem and some media saying this, and what do I want to do? Do I go and judge them or ask them questions? Or I want to have a total concentration, focus on how to make a change. And I'm praying that all the theft and all the little political scams that happens in our polling stations and our ECs and everything, please God, tone it down this time. Ghana wants to go forward.
Right.
Okay?
So does it mean that you didn't have any of your members monitor the entire process? You had no body representing you at the voting centers?
I did, my dear brother. Let me tell you something quickly about what you just said.
Yeah.
So when I was young, 8 years old, I started a poultry farm that I didn't know I was starting a poultry farm. And it was a hen and a cock. And I was waiting for the eggs because my brother spent the money that we were supposed to give to my mother for eggs and bread, fried egg. So I decided to get my own eggs. But after I got the eggs, I realized that when they turn to chicken, it's better than keeping the eggs. So I changed my mind from getting eggs to chickens. In no time, they became a lot. And as they were multiplying, they had to go out every day. And I just let them go. I didn't stop them. I didn't think somebody was going to steal it. I just thought that they were animals, and if they find a way to survive out there and they can come back home to the owner, perfect. So I let them go, and when they came back sometimes, they came back with new ones that had the same feathers like them, but there was rope tied on their leg. And I could tell that this one is not mine, but what is he doing here? I tried to suck and say, go, but they don't go because I was feeding them. The point I'm trying to make is that sometimes in life, you just have to let things be. You know, we're all not God. We're just humans. Okay? We're trying to do our best, but we can't be perfect in everywhere, in every corner. And I'm not going to be perfect to sort out this country's problems in terms of our political agenda. There is so much propaganda. There is so much confusion, chaos, a lot of things. That's not what I'm here to solve.
Wow.
I'm here to solve a country's problem, why the citizen is not valued, and why the nation is not being developed, and why the country is not being built. That is my focus, and that is what I would spend my time on.
Because what you describe as chaos, what you describe as earlier you said nonsensical, all forms the basis of our democracy, which happens to be the foundation of the development that you want. So if you don't fix that foundation, how then can you have that structure?
I'm sorry, my brother, if you think that's the foundation of democracy, then I don't know if your democracy is probably a demonstration of something else. It could be straightness, craziness, many things. Because democracy now is demonstrating a lot of different things to us in Africa. When you come to Ghana, democracy is different. You go to Nigeria, it's completely different. You go to Kenya, they've messed our heads up with this democracy. Not to say that Africa did not have a solution for governance in the past 1,000 years. In fact, we were some of the world's greatest leaders. We were some of the people that built universities first in the world. We were some of the people that built pyramids. So our ancestors were very knowledgeable in terms of leadership. But we have exchanged our culture for the Western governance.
Okay.
And I don't see anything wrong with that. But please, if whatever democracy, have to suit that people.
Okay. Right.
Wow.
So, Dr.
Wow.
what role and what plans do you have for teachers?
Education is very important. And I want Africans to understand that we can't just base education on academia, theoretical stuff. Okay? I think that we lack a lot of knowledge about ourselves and what we have. You're wearing the wig of the Western. You know, and they're talking about some judge or some lawyer from the Western's case to use it to judge someone. Meanwhile, someone went to steal a plantain and he got 20 years, and someone stole 10 million and he walked away. So, you know, a lot of things is turned upside, you know, and cultural education that makes you respect your country and the people. We cannot take people for granted. You know, I mean, just recently, I don't know, there was a spokesperson that got arrested, kept for 7 nights because they were a spokesperson. I just chose her for a spokesperson because everyone in Ghana was scared to speak for me. So I said, okay, fine. Let me bring a white person and speak for me, and I'll pay you. That's it. And the whole Ghana was, but they kept her for 7 nights. And that was a human rights infringement. And it was about politics. But that wasn't right. So we had to support and take the case out of Ghana, take it to ECOWAS. And they looked into it and realized that, no, Ghana, you're wrong. That was wrong. So they had to correct them. Now, my analysis here is supposed to educate everybody that why did they do what they did when they knew
it was wrong. And if I didn't have to help to find out the truth of human rights, I wouldn't know that there are people in Ghana who are millions of people suffering. Like I say that we are educating people, and then we spend money 21 years to educate our children. Please, I like to call this investment. If you're spending money to pay fees and feed your child to go to school, don't think it's just a necessity. It's your investment. Your work that you're doing, that's where you put your money, okay? So if you do that, and after 21 years, your child or your son says, I can't get any job, it means your investment has gone down. Or if you had spent 50 million Ghana in 21 years, which you will not realize anyway, but every time you will be paying 2,000 cedis, 3,000 cedis, by 15 years, it would amount to 15 million. And then your child finishes university, then he gets a job for 3,000 cedis. The question that I want to ask you is that if you invest 50 million today and somebody says they're going to pay you 3,000 cedis a month, would you agree? No, that's exactly what is happening to us. So there is a system and there is a gap in our educational system that needs to be bridged. But why is the government not leading with education? You have to learn about your cocoa seed. You have to learn about the governance. You can't just become a politician from nowhere and then straight away you say, I'm a Minister of Works and Housing and you've never built a house. You need to... That's the kind of education that we need. That's the kind of education that we need to give to our people. They need to understand that this gold is difficult to find. Now, God has put the gold in the ground. You need to wash the ground and dig and crack the mountains to find the gold. So he's not going to make it easy for you to just pick the gold up and pick the money. He's going to make it difficult for you. But once you find a solution to minimize that difficulty, you'll be gaining wealth. And that can be transcended onto generations. That's the kind of education we need for our country.
Okay. So what plans do you have for teachers?
Well, teachers,
with the second
and I said it already, I just think that not just teachers, all the service industry in this country treated badly. Now, you get to have 5 children and he's taking them to school. He's educating them. This guy has to take transport, right, to work every day. Your petrol is 2,000 cedis to fill the tank. He's already taken half of his salary. Now, when you finish, you say that to give you 33 liters of water, you pay 3 cedis. This guy is going to use 1,300 liters of water for him and his family. So at the end of the month, he's looking at 700 to 800 or maybe 400 of water bill. Same thing with 17 pesos for a kilowatt. So by the time we're stripping values out of the citizens. And this policeman, if he spends all his he knows the money is spent before he receives it. It's gone. He's in the minus when he receives the money. This policeman, if he stops you and you give him pure water as bribe, he will take. He will just say, you know what, I will take the water because maybe today I might not have money to buy water. But if you go to England, a policeman, there's a system. He gets £4,000. He can take a part to pay every month his mortgage. So he's bought a house. He can take a part of that money to pay for the car. And his children have a bit of some sort of free education and some loan to back them. So that is not a huge problem for him. He's surviving. This guy has committed himself to paying for a house, paying for a car, taking care of his wife, and taking care of his children. That's 4,000. He's multiplied the 4,000 to 30 years. If all is bribe, he's going to say, no. It's more than his monthly salary, but he's looking at 30 years and the benefits. So he doesn't want to lose that dignity. Humans that dwell on our soil, the soil will prevail its blessing. Every country that is successful, they cater for their people. If you go to Dubai, you see the people wearing white stuff with the thing and they're walking around. They've never even put one block on another block. But look, all the skyscrapers are there. They've educated them. They're monitoring their investment, they're investing, they're developing, and they're hiring people to do the work for them. That's what we should do in Ghana.
What do you
that I will give you free education.
Okay.
But please, do not dare give that promise if you can't afford it. Because Ghana is broke. And the teachers have to be paid. And the kids need to be fed. So we are not able to afford the free education to its full limit. And that has changed the curricula of our educational system. Now, from afar, I'm studying everything. Just 6 years ago, the youth of this country used to spend at least 8.5 months in the entire semesters that forms a year. Okay? So they have 2 weeks vacation, 1 month, and almost 3 months.
Yeah.
So that gives you 8.5 months. Right now, the youth of this country can only do between 5.5 months to 6 months. So they're losing 2 months or 2.5 months every year of education. You might see it lightly, but in 10 years, it amounts to 2.5 years of their life of learning something. That's what we're going to see very soon, is that you're going to see somebody says, I finished Legon. And then when they're speaking, you ask yourself, is it Legon Primary School or Legon? Because you see, they lack something. So I'm seeing this as a problem already that is coming. And it's going to grow.
So how
Let me answer you.
Okay.
Relax. Even though spark a fire, start something, the change comes, and it's a ripple effect, because there's some young person in there who is going to believe in this movement, in this agenda, in this change, and then they come also as a force. They come, and eventually the problem will be getting fixed. No problem. All the problems in this world cannot be fixed. That's how God built the world. He built the world with problems. So whoever that has the common sense and knowledge to fix the problem, they make them successful. And the ones that they don't want to, they suffer. And the problems are always going to be there. But I'm here to start solving the problems instead of adding more problems to the existing problems.
Okay, let's talk about agric here. Pius wants to find out what your plans are for agric mechanization.
Oh, definitely. Look, we began with agriculture before industrialization and then technology. So in the days of Abraham, they were doing cattle farms, and they just had to nurture the sheep and cows, and they extract the milk, and that's how they started to industrialize the world. So agric is the farming aspect. The culture is the processing aspect. Ghana is only doing agric without the culture. Yes, because you plant the seed, you water it, all of that is agric. The culture is once now you've harvested it, what are you going to do with it? You see, if you don't process it, you can't preserve it. You need to process it and preserve it in order to get reserves out of it, and that's a culture. That process can create 10 jobs. Because you have a lot of factories creating jobs, and people will learn that an orange is not just to be eaten, but it can become a juice, and the skin of the orange can become a tablet, it can become this, it can become that, and so many things. Civilization. I have to first of all purify all your waters again and irrigate all your grounds again. So you don't wait for April or June for God to rain water to come down before your pepper will grow. Yeah, you wake up in the morning, the pepper is already watered. And then you add fertilizers that you created yourself. That suits your soil very well. So things that would take 3 months to grow, you can push it to 1 month. The world is doing it. I'm telling all of you that today, some of the chicken that we're eating, within 72 hours, they're grown already. How do you think that the world is eating 1 billion chicken a day? 1 billion, that's the demand of the world. We're 7.2 billion. And every day people, yes. So how do you think the chicken are growing so fast to feed people 1 billion times a day? It's they've industrialized, the farming. And so it's growing very fast. And I want to do that, first of all. I want you to have a seedling bank. So you start to protect your seed. If you don't protect that seed that God gave you, somebody's going to come and take it from you. But that's one thing. Ghana doesn't have it. But we have to have a lab. Our cocoa should be there and we should protect it. It should not go out. Today, Chinese have taken it and they are forming it. They are cloning it. Very soon, they will supply the world with cocoa. And we, the founders of cocoa, we don't have it. We, the founders of gold, we don't have it. This is what is happening until we change leadership. And that's why our fathers need to give us the chance to help them. Okay? They're tired. So maybe they need the young blood to help them. We're not saying that go away for good. We're saying that, okay, listen, you can still be around. You can advise us about whatever experience that you've had, advice. But when it comes to standing in the sun and checking and making sure things are being done, you need fresh blood.
Okay.
You need young people to do that.
Thank you. Dore, let's read the next set of questions.
So we'll take this question from Clement Hammond, National Secretary, Ghana National Association of the Deaf. He says he wants to know what you will do to implement the Disability Act of 2006, which has not been fully complied with by previous administrations. So let's take two more questions. We have some people here who have some questions, so please go ahead.
Yes, please. In the disability sector, now I want to know in your 12 pillars whether there's any strategy for persons with disability, since you are talking about adding value, and you and I know that today we are no more in the welfare system of disability, but we are looking at it from right and developmental level. Our founding father, Dr. Nkrumah, made a rehabilitation center for persons with disability. Today, when you go there, it is nothing to write home about. So I want to know, what is your view about persons with disability and what do you have for us? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll take one more question on disability and then
please
we'll move on.
Plain District's Common Fund was meant to help the disabled in their businesses. But for so many years now, many has not benefited from this. So my question is, what differently will you do when you become the president to ensure that we the disabled benefit from this fund? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question. So please go ahead and respond to those questions.
There's Clement, there's Razak, and then there's Victoria. So first of all, Clement wants to find out the implementation of the disability.
Hwabanio, because bisa Hwabanio, Nana Kwame Bediako, Ado, Mamemboka Kranka.
First of all, Clement and Razak, I think I'll answer their questions together.
Okay. Yeah.
Razak, I know you can't see me, but you can feel me. On your left, if you touch that man there, you will feel him. His name is Brown, and he's actually one of my best friends. He's right here. Brown, what's my name? Brown Weezy. So, to say that I didn't have to wait to become a president before I thought about the disability industry. I already started 10 years ago. Brown is my friend, and Brown will tell you my investment was not just making sure that he had a shelter. The story between me and Brown is that I met him, and then when I was leaving, I asked him for his number. I wanted him to be my friend, and he told me that, you give me your number. He was holding a phone. So I thought I had to take his phone to put my number. But Brown he surprised me. He started typing the number into his phone. And from that time, Brown has been my friend. He comes to my house. I spend Christmas with him.
And every time he comes to my house, I have to confess this today, Brown. Sometimes I sneak to the back door and went to the taxi and asked the taxi driver, how did the guy in the car show you how to get to my house? The point I'm trying to make is that we have intelligent people in this country, and we just think that they should only come from able people. That's not equality. It's not fair. And I'm a fair person. I live on fairness, firmness, courage, and these core principles, I don't change it for anything. So Brown is my witness that I wanted to know what he had to do. He said he wanted to be a journalist. So it's not like I'm telling my story without the person being present. He's right there. I invested in his education so that he can become a journalist. And he did become a journalist.
Wow.
Aside from that, Brown has a friend who is also my friend, and he's called One Leg. This is a guy that just used to park my cars. He thought he was just doing favors for me because he's parking my cars. But that was so much for me, that someone that is not able was doing something and selling bangles on this. He was trying to survive. So I was planning for him. And I realized that he had so much strength in his hands. So I designed a tricycle for him. And I gave him the tricycle on the conditions that I was going to build an industry in the disability world. The conditions were that he has to become an Uber. We tried to apply for Uber. They did not agree with him. So
because of his disability,
they just said that they was not going to do it. I don't want to say that, but they did not. And so I found another solution. And at that time, it was Yango that helped. I think this is many years ago, before we even found out about it. And my deal with One Leg was that if you're able to work to buy another one of this, I'll buy you the third one. But my conditions is that you can't employ anyone who is able. You have to employ only people who are disabled.
Wow. Hey!
And when he did that, I was proud of him. He bought a second one. I bought him a third one, a fourth one. Some white guy bought him a fifth one. The point is, today, One Leg has built a house that he lives in and built a house for his mother. He has business. He's added value to people's lives. Hey! So Ghana, this is who I am. I'm a philanthropist, a humanitarian philanthropist. And I've been like this. I would be very experienced at what I do. Ludicrous. And so, to use this opportunity to answer the third question, that 3%
common fund,
I might just have to increase it to 5% and make sure that all of you have a space with us. We have to be treated the same. Our second core principle for New Force is equality, equal treatment, men and women. Men should not get the best jobs because and women should no. We have to give room for women's potential to come out as well, because we don't know what they can bring. These are the same women that gave birth to us. But when it comes to business and work, they were trying to undermine them. We need to bring that equality into our system of governance, because we will realize that if we gave women the chance 30 years ago, Ghana could have been better than it is today. And that's fairness, equality, and justice bring real freedom. So I would increase that, and I know that I am introducing industrialization. The part of industrialization which is going to be technology hub, the best employees for technology are disabled. Because the job is to sit. The job is to sit for 8 hours, 10 hours. The able people cannot even do it. Like the disabled people, they will do it. They will sit there, you teach them about computer, they will do all the work. The same disabled people used to sit 12 hours in our toll booth. We close audience, I'm watching them. And
me papa bi eba ha ebri bi etwemu. Sabin producer na nani mienu na ehu ade. Oye ni freni. Na the kind of school I wako, and he said, "You winning computer mono." A shock me. na nadamfo baako no so sabi nani efra ono so okrum ha Ghana ni ono so chese wono kura de u phone no sey otimi tutu phone no ewurade yankopon oba service wu phone ni freni o akova so aye bibia seti bibia de amount computer laptops everything intinia na Kwame Bediako kan ewurade Debbie. Ghana, yaya shrade. Now I will get educated journalists. Nini biye. When ya dajua catch them say about one day, but we need a do. Afe ubetimi afre na de wo wadwene mu bia waka bi ensam no edika ofra masrawo ntiem na obi nso anya bia ka ebetimi a yenye ne 2 minutes whilst I read your messages I will be waiting for your calls. Add your voice to nia abranti otise ebie na no aka fin we kura de onhwe book mo. When he was given 20 minutes, he never looked through any book. Ya no man o mo nguta book and joto mo point na be ye den. Nsam no matter to papa so. E be ye den. Because the best answer to a journalist who asks the question that you have the e-levies, all these taxes, and you are promised that when you come you're going to take them off, and they're asking that once you are in power already, why can't you do some about use eradication of these power taxes for us to believe that when you come you will really do it. The best answer he could give, because one chere paper sunti not to papa so paper nan dan che when I come, what manifesto will I have if I do all? Look at this. And Ghana, we are so proud to say, ya jiahua enje. Uradi yankrupong. Hello, Santa Madre.
Bejoso ABK Prophet.
Now where dear?
Now, me where pa na moto so
Oba dia dawroma ye ho ya pa
mi tia me nuan me wo platform tin nyina
obia joso mo
tia oba George na ma ba tin nyina
o ka oba George na se anya wo yere
ma sweetheart
Abena Asana
ma sweetheart what send me messages in tia send me mo videos ni nyina ba window me hwe.
Oh yo.
Really, me nkasa nche but a friend saying na Bediako yi no na election no enseme wu mu ha yi hunu no enseme wu mu ha yi hunu no nyasam ketwa
ayo
any practices bi a wo mu ye for me hope for a peaceful election on Saturday.
Ayo.
Because one more try every possible means to be some bit me de rigging after at a yana home to mapa.
Yo.
It me and the Ghana for so no. I say tintinia so be a wumi to me a did trim. I did trim Ghana. Meti miami wo me yetwa me ho ahia kura no wo mo kasa na wo ka na Kwame Bediako de onko ba bia hwe nsem a wo ka hwe niam a wo yiguo hwe how the transformation can work in Ghana. And so chete wo bi won koto data family we utie do gina platform so keka no I'll do this, I'll do that no na Kwame Bediako kan. That's all they are doing. Into oji enudi more than say over betie no betie some work no o kan to only they want me when enti in with him. But say nya obi to say no ana alampa at this particular time ye woman pa to transform Ghana. Na abana san akọ nipa wonu mienu ba ko ho a say Ghana the future no very very dim pa na me hwe wo me free Germany wo me free me ni bi no mahiesia free Germany bi free America bi free London fonya ya ba ye wuntumi radio no so enna kese wo mo kan se ma mete ho a na ase ne nka me mfase ka ne nka me ntwa me yem kura na me nka me yem ne ma kura mpiem na me nko aba ka sa amagina wo mutrim no mbae muti aburo kire pa ebike ade kura twa me yem Ghana Bank of Ghana ejabe no die no tumi bo ka 60 billion Scan for him, 1 year the man. For Lungulam, $12 million. Blog Ukrana, and also 1 year the man. We are consolidated bank now, we go banks instead of putting in 7 billion, more than 20 tomatoes, pro. The tomatoes to pronounce it. Fanko go free gym na the go free gym abeka into wo koto agu na the 27 billion koto gu a unyansa awen
ayo
unyansa udi 7 billion udi 27 billion e destroy de no e ma zoom lion koto gu ye no unyansa awen consolidated fund what has a creative bank at the 78 billion 78 billion plus Ghana 1 billion as support and the bank in Aboka. It wama ugu wama bank no wama nyamudan. And yama wina kesate Ghana for ye ostriches ye the trace ye a former year to soro. Yes sir. Usora no pana television ho ha. Now the channel no the channels ni bebre wo the to ha the to na tie tima che especially woman free America, Britain, Germany. No matiti MPP for na ya ba na ya kasa no. Wo ba kasa nya abrochire no wo tie baby papa wo mo dwo wo mo no. Wo mo na ba no mo tu mfuturo gu ni pa ni wa ha. Anya Asempa o. I say the adinesi ne planets no omo ye no a military for bi kura de ho agigi mu ne nsem ekoso no ye bonfire for peaceful election on Saturday.
Ayo.
That's all we are waiting for now. Ye bonfire say bibia be si boko ni wi a afi ye baso ye nya asem papa report ama.
Amen. Yo mo na what wo de dada. Every time you special about Metro Saturday. Okay. Ayo.
Metro Saturday.
Mo.
And this is what who baby am debeko.
Man yesa wo kawa hama na ya dede na okwa oze omo aye sunsumu nua mo hu ani so pe na ade no wudi sisua na achia na de akofa baabi.
Yes, baby, or to qua, no, what's a good. Them the better home and I say. I ain't a bonny to metro home and I say, so almost the sound on Penwa, better one
more. I watching say, what took over will say vote no, me bomb baby on my 12 for be a vote in the best say. Oh, a best say. Young boys, not so young boys in India, do run a person question though. Young generation in India. No, Nansama or Trahakikan. We are Bebuno, now we tears out your way. Nasa so was a yanum a year me wolf way, and our poem there. Na ya day. Abe, Chronomoa yadino, and unti boys, no. Just say,
Omudi political partners just for 150 cedi. 100 cedi be yama omu daily mo dia koto ayi bankuni bibi de wo bi ade o. Into ya we mo dwasesi na TMP for abegina abehu ndi pe beko ombegi t-shirt ya sesi aso omo ye members because we are at the end of the day no 100 bibi pie wo mo nsem. What I say, no, they are koto. Odi beto aduane di ede kura ekuro no mu odi no. Man say me hwesika mi di ne ha in 1 week ya. The whole land, the whole 1 month kura mi ni escan. Now over there no go over there to matna in that circumstance. Inti wamuno di omudi political partner chino. Don't think say just say udi echi because to be to amana there be okopedi obedie etu hu ni padom ni atudu o machira e mane hawo enye ni vote no chon na hezu obi aya waso wa gon se ho ahwan ye da ayi special vote no ogina queue mu no wo che ayi aduane in a bag
na wa hage wo mo
na aduane no busa ho se bag na die ne wo mu wo busa ho uya unim se 2016 wo mo che mo ne dokuno ne shito ne ade shito no mu ni abobbo sika hye politin ni abono poni ate tire no ne de ahye shito no Ushie yi no a shito no wo nsisiga him no yi. Vote buying on woye no. Aduane no I'm telling you say from the what we know no na sika hihim.
All right.
Omo ye mpanimpo ubia be one fanshim kra wo the be 1000 be she ubia dim. Omo ye officers. Any generals. Inti the aircraft one day I'm going to say the time odro no enya kasa tintin biem
yo
bonfire say ibinya peaceful election on Saturday.
All right.
Na ubia nkotwituo mu bi because fanu ni nyina no the NDC fund wom to awi atem etuo anasa sika bia ba kokora Appiah enya papa empa Asempa ma
tate ya memwaye. All right.
Indeed, make yet you for you know, me with me.
Yo,
that's come on, you know, I know it's a old boy, Juma pa. Yamin showed them one crook, what up, no one saying, why? Yo,
Yamin on board who by my
grand, they said, obey na, no, I ain't not the guso yet.
Yeah, one by Akrobeto say,
until some bano there will make continuity
yo
yeah. Okay, bye
Frank, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Kabe.
Asadan
Adumo Kabe.
Ejina dacha
man Kabe, I'm going fast no bisumbra. Kabe sometimes say kasan ye bo ukolis wonechila men defend one you. I'm also woman. I'm telling you, she ejuma JTV. She journalist no Ghane. She do why cool. Ondo what mama cheda ni vision wa ba out more. Ono na Kwame Safaka wan only me answer Ankabe. One kase bisa on.
Ubisa me sam.
On man kero no only ejuma like we are offended. One so way when ejuma no idea Ankabe. Them of Mr. Wo full Ghanaians are check. First, no, we get a dino, but she won't get a dinium. She do what this journalist, GTV, what mama man, why express no. What bisectors, what dissect information in come on.
Enjoy. Now, wait, Obibeka say, this isn't the right time for this. It should have been earlier. It should have been earlier. Na macho ya maka 2 days no. Na mabaye. it should have been earlier. So say Obaho odi come by one way and make up a way Abeko air. Now no more fresh the program is cancelled. Now Omubisa say wire or say order from above.
Ankabe order from above no or some super hobio. I me shadi newa. Get no ban for a stupid chenobiala. What information was smart. Tama na chede express no kama always chede question all baby say chede no on fokwem bia unwa answer chede de mana answer chede de ma gena.
Oh yes,
chede wono all church ni sem na de kama all tonkofo na shum all of a sudden na guy ni trying to do now you have question from this lady hwade ni carefully a wo hu de akono lo bu enkofu ni nia nti again ba o fast no also be no papa nle kasa no question you the baby special voting useless question nature that so smart questions answer and also respond on the man.
Oh yeah,
them ko funya one pe man ye I'm telling you I didn't like the GTV is about time government you baby biano in fact other washing will build no one's other paying for what try say megaphone gone or book other market stations and I said total stations for lorry stations grandpa so that you confuse be one we just want the mama other stations no or capture one offending information about Ghana. I'm telling you ma presenter no one ochere akwane dey so we I don't know because one cheda we will bring him in do they check Ghanaians.
He said
relax
Obenya problem can
I'm telling you because Ghana ben baby question or baby said on for baby and cheda so no dey or a smart person on put about her na again about her no nankasa no give me 3 questions. After me answer we are at the biabeka the questions me pile only me no ho or your board or maybe bian chanado so that obutuma tonobo wa chechen semneni no I come the whole quote figures right or a practical person or your theories now we read our wash in the ye gate gidi ko launch daddy and can be on platform now in front to baby but to be honest Yakoponi show. De wa e botchere the program obekere manankasa ho no ole kasa. Obekere nankasa ho no ole kasa. Ma ode obia e comfortable olite cheda. Ewa ankabe Yakoponi show. I'm telling you say ya babiom na say ye bon kofo na chila men defend one because okọ safakai useless questions nkoti na bi na operate run akwana down akofa friend then airport boko kuma so sabri chile useless questions stomach friend nkoti guy ba ku so o say CTF from Saudi no so onya chance to try the same question say me if you didn't campo not nani no manka be o menfensie dey no be so bra
Mera se mo Sisa makoma date na me akoma foforo na mihinya ebe hwa okoto aba tie enkabo we na wi a wadwene ho akoto waba why wo de tie
efedi omu disika ebe tomadwene amwo se o de ye kye no koma amfie nso a last minute ye disika kakra bi ba ye beto wadwene this time muma yankyere o madwene se yankyere hu se sensuo to ye ne yantia ade akyi ye foma fonso ye huni
piao
enti ubesi ye so anka ahye ye ma emfiaso ye ma padwuma ye nya bi police ye nya bi immigration ye nya bi fire service ye nya bi prisons ye nya bi teaching ye nya bi nursing ye nya bi local government ye nya bi and ebi ni muton who delegate who ko padwuma ma abakora ye situ 10,000 me call Borga Upper East one of the regional executives catch the bagger open police a man crowd omo jeni 10,000 Ghana city and so enye dwuma na amane bas te momma obi obetumi ama adwuma ba edwuma wa ehia so boko kotua sika
abatuo no weya na yehia de akoto aba no weya na yehia we need nothing but this very one and leba boyen wachim ukoma 7 years afi na obere obibi kakra na wegina so ato abade a and then wara ujejirejo ujejireje ya bremo na nso oben hello
Yeah, hello.
Now what to them?
Good evening. Me glad of near Bushing na Yumri. I no pay me a VA, baby via Nipano. Michelle via. My friend, no, Mr. Santana, me chiano. I'm at them who say, my generation. But all the same, no, Miss Anso was some cracker. Now, what can be say a moko fast a woman nra Monday no chiche nuane ne na sefo na Mr. Asante kan bibi se we wo bebiem no nya aduane nko akeke ba bibi foforo ka ho ne na sefo sika na se whatever ana na mpesa confirm se no krenso
sa
won we ma send video bi ama eye brighter media enwumre ya na me send ma o ya can say MPP4 one dia one mo che video no brighter media no show ye o start ya no he ya ho ne wo one mo entomo na ntoma no half piece na obebie mu no obetre ntoma no mu se ni so o mabobo enti obetre ntoma no mu no na ba wo mia t-shirt ni picture Edda t-shirt n'anim ana ya tro it is possible eti eno so actually no na 200 Ghana 100 nmienu esa aka ho ba ye ya entoma na mawa wo befu say half piece entoma keke ne de ma eti bia wo betre nti we no nipa na omde ne de ma no ka mu ana reporter no ene eti ana na reporter no ka ho asem o chechiri mu se no new entoma half piece show ye bie mu no nti o mutre mu ye bie mu no mo hwade a ewom ba wo mieti peta ni picture there ni mu a ya san tro so it is possible ana 200 cedis so enti MPP4 yes ade ne den ni breso pa ni breso anya sem ketwa ana na video bi a mehu eno so many places ewo internet YouTube ho chese ya no credit wo mo achi enkrofobia ndi isifo na achi enkrofobia wo mo de fake ballot papers eti sa video a meka ho asem se ba wo mia ntoma bi ni sika ni t-shirt no wo mo kra ka ho asem brighter media no wo mo eka ho asem wo mo ni Agiomi one guy bi a man bi a friend Agiomi na brighter ene ne sa program no sa video no mo ka say allegedly ana say no kra dia just a printing ballots no fake ones one ma print free baby e dey be pm one no for baby ma me okay no anya me one because ma share 2 or 3 so channels so and then when we show the videos no so pick up bit to anaju to say suma ba anaju a wo mo dey ko na amanfo echi wo mo bro alarm ana wo mo show ni sa chesanya sam ketwa won eti akwati say wo mo kan said wo mo 1 million ways
to win the election
no eno anwa adwuma na wo mo guso ye den the MPP4 no ye ne den e say MPP4 ayi wo ma dwen say no woni ska untumi enwe ni elections enti wo ma pesika ne go mo wia Ghana fo sika ne de egu ho eno ma say yensa ase ni yensuo dodo na ya garam say sika And when I want to me say this is money, this is money. Gold, no, this is gold, this is gold. And I do an amka say MPB Camry be so no they were packing $1 ago. It do a year election timer. What they be winning a seat. Very simple because we pack $1 ago. Baby, uncle cars and quasi some cabana or them. And cabana ya china discuss sikana waka wasa and cabine at discanning in every son send the pay yes saying a then when you say scan go so Ghana for 8 years ne tra ne ya ne tra na almost say omuguso a womu Jimmy. Naka how come say you can say special voting now wo position bi a wo penti dada de kro so wo fo no sa woman no wano no aduane anopa bia ewie bia nwume bia kwachiche ma wo mana but one ekwan ono fa so aye ni wo ye omo papo but o ma o hu se sanwa dwe ni vote mame na ewie kwa bia wo ni di mama aduane di na se bi obi ono so na dwen wo fo mu a wagimi odu ayi ni mu a na wasesa na dwen na wakovoto amano se MPP fo ba wo mia de almost so yene na maka chiro de wo better media no mo yina wo be hu anu ya wo be hu video no live
yo
and to mamo have peace wo betre mo no na t-shirt ba wo mia it is possible and it's 200 cedis account it when wo bi anadwen wo fom no na nadwen asesa once Jimmy T. Enti asam na no odi empaibo. Nti sa pa dia. Ne ye nyina ni video ya na Kwame Bediako video ya wo show di se sie ya. Nyansa ni nimdie kasai. Ghana fo bebre nim o mate o mo so o mte ye ba nipa no wate kwa saden hu sampa owura we se ye votu ye de ade ne mana obema ho taba so anam se nkrofo we asa wo madwen nipa emienu entafuei MPP ni NDC fo asa wo madwen ti oba kwaje saa adamudie no na jibi ni wura fi ne ho sa wo ma kire ne koma na wunim nyansa no kwa na wo sanka wo ma wubufu wo mo senti sesike wo saadie we wo enuane a mo chicha ma ye mo ne anwane de kaka wi enti hono mo na ma sheda samu di ani mo chire ye koma na adan na sa tawi na mo de sa ne ma ne ma yen nyansani be bisa this question na unyansan mu no aka kire wo se wonim se wajimi wo pokokro muti no na wasa de we ne power na wasa kwa enjoy life woni na busuafo akwa enjoy better life na wase jawo for another 4 years eti sa no nim nyansa na wase wani ba wo so wo beje kra no a agufuo bi kra be sa be hye mu no ebe ma wotumika kra akoto atia ne ntentem but the question is nipa dodo se na wasa adwen we jiminti obadwen se nipa na ye ne papa nti okoto ama nipa no ni ete wono no ya people for the omguso omo ye no no enya sanketwa wo mu guso den na nka nkwala titi nuase aba wo mia woni tua anka musesa 1.5 billion adu koma adum chedu ase wonyin pi wono ni sika collection bebebe no wasan yin pi so wono kra na du ba bia wo chiche bi man sori ma no anka be san ya kopi so abra nkwala titi nuase a wo ni emponche ana dida papa ebuo mu se atakwame edan mu a school for no wi ankwala na emponche so akwakoda anopa bia na ankwala na be ye adwuma wo ho no man san na wo motumi atena edan no so musua de eno kwa nsanya dan yi we edan apata we edan enti de ete ho no sagana fo nsua nyansa de abe ebe kasa de bia so ebe yekwa adwene wo fom dodo medwen wa menti ase enkan ni wo mo fra brochira akọ Ghana ekọ support sa two parties we mu se na Mr. Asante ka no me dwen wa be mentiase mentiase o na omu wie so omu ntraga na ho say papa wo mu after the elections no masan yakofufu play no masan bet
no moko no moeja jimifuo no sabe no moeja jimifuo no bimo sabe awo fie no mo de omko
abe mama fama no si na asaba reho na ya na den manka na meboa
erade bakasa
manka na meboa Avrochefo ni bi omakwa Ghana eye campaign ma sankofo emienu nu a bebre so kwato aba ma wo mu no mi bi se wo mu sa de no mu wi o mu ntena ho a wo mu ntoa so ntena ho a ma o mu bra wo ho na wo mu se kro ni ye fo se de Donald Trump come mi bi se eye shit hole country was say shit hole continent Africa no ada no wo mu ntena mu ho no ma no mu wi a wo be se dwane asan betena bruchire atwa o ma bra boso nyame betua sankofo ni nyina aka kuma me da bia meka besim wo ye me busuani kwa na kwoto aba e ma MPP ni NDC fo nyame betua wo ka na meka no so mbete nyame betua mo ka kuma memfa ho se ye busuafo se ye nua so ye me maame whatever nyame betua wo ka na me wo so ni ba kwa person kunya wo nwie wo man no ya nyina enye fianke ba eba betre obi oye krom na nke ya toa ya brabo na so kwa no akone sen krofuwe we den watra ha no mache we den na krono ukwatra kwa wani bekam de obeya say holidays na abekwa no wasen abasa na so nka unya nka ba ko settle finally for the rest of your life na minu wo nyina bedi mu akoma abe mama fama no so why
that's mo erade ma ya koma fufuro erade finde ochina eni fiada papa mayenga koma fufuro why mayenga koma fufuro akoma fufuro ebechi ade a eye krono ade ye wudisem eboman mejira hemi eskani bia me papa o nanso sabe eye sikafin adie bia wambra ho na wenya no kwam papa so obebetimi acha wade he mejira he I may receive one phone call genuinely from someone say because of this I will do this for you, and that phone call can change my entire life. Yes, it can happen, but not whereby I mean kobu and na me ma won tro and record audio and say baby aso ya de ampa na kanane yeton ade say we America na yeton say na emfema MPP fo no wo no metua meka be $5,000 and dem de ashama taso no mo nchama stations akase no mo mbono muza muntie meti wo station so mo bokra America fo kra na esu no mekoya na mabetra ha na mianso me yedede se o man mu ayaden Ghana enkoyie na me ma fechiri kodam sika mi konyanti me koye ne ebeboa aban na wo say ade na master me kokan ya tradition tumem ya nom se me mpesika na ono we ko bi opportunity ama me na me ya na me mfe bi nte me house a me se anya hwe me ha no ewurade bebe me why that's it. Hello
Abeiku.
Face mask
na mini anati say
me ho ya pa na wonso
na me adaro ma bibia boko I didn't change the enemy basic into God will make a way. There seems to be what?
Amen.
No way.
Amen.
Wow, yeah, obia otie the echo to a platform and the echo to a Columbia and Okoda and your pay attention. But they were caught at come out in just 1 minute per catching a coupon say, you know, I hope you and your coffee. But the near mentioning the bray Aka, who connects you, my Ghana for me, were phoning a year in our house. nkom nyom be kofi by name nti o man tinya kofi o makawa ha. There is no place like home. There is no place like home. Yeah, ka be kofi na benya a friend saying on krakra na say o life soup papa bi benom abuna bunu bi benom no de obedi wa ha enye tete fie da. What you say? And next so be a koda e friend e ko bi akoda. O solia no pa ana so okoda kutompa o bed and ne bompa just one me say Nyankopon fa ne nsanka Ghana for akoma na me just say Nyankopon ti obi anso sufre say okoto aba na nie nka wadwen ho so say okoto ama no nka bedu nka wuhu no na ka wade Asempa ma na Kwame Bediako de bia no esi Nyankopon ye ti yemfa mpabo ne gidie na yensu frɛ awurade o ye kukuam say Nyankopon mie ne nsam emie ekwan ma Ghana na Ghana fa no ntoma pefra na even almost person the Ghana fa ekwan bani so nyina no even the all person obedi president by force cramp no ono cramp obe call obe ho ase odi Asempa ma na Kwame Bediako bibia no esu Nyankopon ye nti yenya gidie say at the end by the Sunday night na ye baba no Ghana be make history young man and 3 years fu ono ne baba the next president ama Ghana me wo gidie se woni gidie a ene nya gidie yemfa akomapa ene mpaibo enta na Kwame Bediako na Kwame Bediako achi na bibia no asu Nyankopon ye bibia no asu Nyankopon ye oma jinso mbe basa ya de betina ko oma nya stroke o mutimi nsori nti obi bia wa homatofo bia yenya gidie ne yente nyi Nyankopon kwa pam se na Kwame Bediako ebe ye president a yenye ska Nyankopon po bia ska ba ayeye num enum ene naase ene ebobodi ahye Nyankopon anu nam na Sunday Monday bade sam ne ye de ayeye enum ede share Nyankopon anu nyam wa platform yi so na bi yenu nye beti se be ye se nye se la ye de asda be Nyankopon nti obi anya gidie na obi amfa mpaibo emfre ene me ma frem na fofo bebre ene menini pa bebre edi nkobo omunya sa na Kwame Bediako beto amom nti obi a still and so far se enkoto abani de obi a en continue and say oyen say obe send message ama ne family no mo so enko we mfama we na ento to aso bibia no asu Nyankopon ye nti misumi gidie no se na Kwame Bediako Nyankopon ena ye na nam ya ancestors na yi na Kwame Bediako de rabate o me change Ghana man na ensa abibiman nyina na bibiman emfa ne ntoma pa yeden enfra nti enya gidie Africa will never be the same. One day Africa here rise na Africa rise na here rise no revolution me start here for Ghana no na start here no say Kwame Nkrumah way back in 50s or try say offer Marcus Garvey in inspire no say Marcus say enti no so onya inspiration man said no or so between be enti na Kwame Nkrumah independence no start free Ghana enye bibia keke Nyankopon bibia no enso Nyankopon ye na the second coming of Kwame Nkrumah no na Kwame Bediako tie enya gidie say one day be say young man ejam pedifoni ma say enya semketua in the name of Ghana, in the name of Africa na enama abamu always obema Africa be change eno na tamfonia bronsamfo bia omde omutim no empty head omni he say no benya omani sika be wi akeke eno ho epo ma adwen a pese Ghana betu no Ghana betu pontina omo fa any ways and means bia so be na adebachi wo bia wo kotan o ka buti convoy mo atese wo kotan o ka ma wo ko na wo ka shake gatem na bia when a serious accident mbi aban kwa tumi nkoto wo Ghana ho adwumbane no the day before independence the day before election no mbi ayento ntu change wadwen a Nyankopon be hu mobo no do boni achew nti ya Ghana ho do no yenkoso yenka ye mompaye emfama Ghana na omo adwumbane ne kwampo no en change o madwen ye mo empaye ema ya tamfo mahama ba omia ne omo maka nyina emfa se ombedu ho no abana omkoto ombe ho na omde tim ayi na Kwame Bediako so bia no ati Nyankopon ye Mama yɛnyina yɛnya gidie sɛ na Kwame Bediako no matter what ɛnema be change me de nyame de obi bia
amen
oh yes dim
amen amen
ɛna de ɔsɔfo face mask abompaya mo bia ntim
amen. That is beautiful from Face Max. Now 2 Kings chapter 7 verse number 3 ekono okanya say na mmarima akwatafo banan wo kuro no pon ano na wosiesie won ho se edan na yetete ha kosi se yebewuwu say yebɛhyɛ kuro no mu a ende okom wo kuro no mu na yebewuwu ho na sɛ yɛtete ha yi nso a yebewuwu na afei mummra nso a mummra ma yɛnkɔhwe Syriafo nsra no mu nso a sɛ wɔbɛgye yɛn nkwa a yɛbɛtena ase na sɛ wɔkum yɛn nso a na yɛwu na sɛ wɔkum yɛn nso a na yɛwu na wɔsɔre anadwofa fam de wɔrekɔ Syriafo nsram na wɔdu Syriafo nsra ano no na hwɛ onipa biara inni hɔ na onipa biara inni hɔ na Awurade ama Syria dom ate ntiase nam ne apɔnkɔ ene dom kesenka na wosiesie wɔn ho sɛ hwɛ Israel hene akɔgye hetifo Israel fo akɔgye hetifo ahene ene Misraim ahene Adom ahyɛ yɛn sɛ wɔmbra yɛn so enti anadwofa fom wasɔre eguan na wajija wɔn ntamadan ne wɔn apɔnkɔ ne wɔn mfurum ne nsra ene sania ɛte wɔn mfurum ene sania ɛte no na wɔn nkwa nti woguane na akwatafo no du nsra na no wɔkɔ ntamadan mu baako mu kodidi nome na wɔfa dwetɛ ene sika ne ntamadan fi hɔ kɔe de kohintawe na wɔsan bae bɛhyɛn ntamadan foforo mu na wɔfa hɔ ade nso na wɔkɔe de kosiesie hallelujah enipa bu sɛ kyɛda nipa bi andi n'akyi Ghana fo hu ne sɛ twe a obi anto aba ma no na sɛ Bible yɛ no kɔre a na sa akwatafo nan impo abra na baby a wɔte ayɛ wɔn sɛ sabere ya tuma kyɛda adne yasa yaba onwini yanto ama no so a onwini enti yɛbɛyɛ dan ande yɛbɛto ama no to a wotu ama no yɛbra wetua na mo sɛ wo kɔ hɔ akɔpɛ biribi sɛ akrame de wotena ha wobawu otu okonso awunim sɛ yanom ikoku bebre adwene sɛ wonom to aba na MPP na ndisi behu sɛ wa ukoto ma kyada enti asamato meno kasei eho IGP dampare na ba wotowe MPP for the drones and amriam they saw whom dampare voted for no so akwaya asam ba miani drones no de baye no this is one purpose so what they be gingira Ghana force na wotu abana drone no camera no asa kode aniwa e wasura ehu fam clear na ne all control no awa engine room betimi azumi wo ewurade so we yankropa wotia siampa Adan wama Asante Bedia Tuonkra na what swaba. Let them follow. Let them continue to follow even before election. Yes. Dam pare koto na bananso owie na drone na wiem na omode capture say MPP for no ne ayade abo omuhu ne anie. Ne ayade abo nipa ne hunu ukoto a o me unanso drone ana wo mu di chi hwehwe ade enti uremu a pomode atu ani hwe wiem na hwe se bibi tuntum bi anam ho a unya ma hu sa ade no pe wo se no wo nto aba no wo twen se ade en entwemi nko ansa na wato waba obi biara o control sa drone no mun kan che ne se mun ma drone mfi mapempem enko ansa na mato maba sise dampare na daje da abonten omo ehu ni oto aba ma no na se dampare wan to ama wa boss dia order from above dia and the Asempa to hey Ghana enti obibia wo supporting na Kwame Bediako mo abamu mbu wo dia wasi ubosa obeto ama na toma no Ewurade bekasa na yenya sa nipa bonefu ya ade na beye. Hello
abi wan wasama abeto sesia Sam George eka wasem sesia
sa
enya life de masandi amawu
ayo
asem ne hu aga na Mr. Asante ka say one try some berry elections no mama ya na to ati asem Sam George dia beto on na waka wobubu di names even flight ne number and na say for free Abuja eba Northern region if you want mu sign edi niam bi ko Kumasi wo chese something hu masandi ama so obeba people 4 person omo ye no one person asem si Ghana dem yem hihebe manka na meboa baba
ma yem hihebe ai
but Kufadu mo person omo ye bibi akwa biem chese wo mo person omo nim begu asema ya chichi wo mo wo nim boni omo de edi Ghana fo ya ti sa omo pa be ko position mo mo to atwi na ya chichi dodo na ye freeze omo assets na omo so mbe dwane ye free kro no dwane no enu no omo bo modi aso omo be protect wo mo prevent sa de ne sentumi maso no mo protect wo mo properties a wo mo wiewia wuntumi wo try so be protect na yi ni galam say awoyo no ato aso say yen sa sini yensuo enti grofo no ma wiata so ni e koso no ehu gise nyankopon bem
mate
me dia ina sendo
mate ma bo video na kakra
enya small ayikra
yo. Let me listen to the audio a little.
Today. Right. And explain to us on the 31st of November, 3 days ago, an army, a Ghana Air Force, or Ghana Army Casa C295M plane with tail registration number GHF
30 days.
550 departed Accra at 13:51 hours, 1:51 p.m. Landed in Tamale at 3:01 p.m. The contents on that plane when it landed in Tamale, we know, was offloaded into an ambulance with national security personnel. That same plane, Casa C295M, GHF 550 tail plate, left Tamale at 4:04 p.m. and headed for Kumasi, landed in Kumasi at 4:57 p.m. and again discharged part of his cargo, again into an ambulance with national security personnel manning the ambulance.
Hey!
Then on 1st of December, the same Casa plane first went to Abuja, flew back from Abuja to Accra, and left Accra at 1 p.m. on the dot to Tamale, again carrying a different cargo, again discharged into an ambulance. Randy, the crew, and I'm mentioning their name, and I want the American embassy and the European embassies that have stated that anyone who is going to be connected with undermining the peace of Ghana's democracy in the next election will be blacklisted. I'm mentioning the name of the crew to aid the international embassies in Ghana. The captain of the plane was Wing Commander Amo Hinaku. His 2 IC on the plane was Group Captain Buedu, who also doubles as the Director of Air Operations of the Ghana Air Force. With them on that flight was Nyano Beko. The 3 of them. Randy, they should explain to us if they carried ballot papers and where those ballot papers came from on the 31st of November.
30th.
And they should also come and explain if they handed over weapons, if they carried weapons aboard GHF 550, Ghana Air Force plane, and handed over to supposed national security personnel on the 1st of December. And why the national security is using ambulances to transport military cargo. Why is it that an officer at the airport in Tamale who witnessed this and recorded this has since 31st of November been kept in guard room? His phone's confiscated. Randy, our eyes are monitoring the elements in our security services who will want to be pliant to aid the stabilization of our peace. But I believe that the Ghana Armed Forces, the gallant men and professional officers, demand that our Chief of Defense Staff and the Chief of Air Staff immediately address the Ghanaian people and give us details of what it is they transported to Tamale aboard that flight. I've given the time of departure from Accra, the time of arrival, and what it is that they transported from Tamale to Kumasi, and what on the 1st of December again they brought, and why ambulances are being used to transport military cargo. We need those explanations. Randy, it is very important that every Ghanaian is concerned about the movement of weapons and ballot papers, which are not part of what is being transported by the Electoral Commission.
No, you do not have evidence to the effect that these were what were transported.
And that's why I've said that the suggestion is that this...
Did you say 31st November or you meant 30th?
30th November, sorry. Okay. The last day of November.
Okay.
Oh, you are 30th November. Okay. 30th November and 1st December.
30th November
and 1st December on Saturday and on Sunday.
Okay.
30th November Saturday and 1st December Sunday. That's why I said the past 2 days, 3 days. Yes. So I mean the 31st was on 30th November, 1st December. It's extremely important that the military comes out to explain to Ghanaians what it is they were transporting and why the military transports cargo and puts them in national security's custody in an ambulance. Since when did the military or national security use ambulances to transport their cargo? Tamale and Kumasi. And Randy, I'm sure you have seen the post by Standogwe.
Which post?
Leaves me very worried. Very, very worried.
Can I come?
Let me just wrap up and then.
Because I mean, these are very.
Oh yeah, it's all connected.
Let him finish. Okay.
Hey.
So you want
Ghana? Ayo, we have 1 million ways to win election, no? And you. So they are using 1 million ways. Hello.
Akrabe.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Wako. Ajuma.
Ajuma, you're opening.
Nah, that's se might me abaso. Nah, maybe many what he did in Akra. Nah, election na yebe kweno. 2021, I make you be say Kufuado can never give out power. Now, almost use intimidation tactics, but NDC for no intelligence no was for chair. And almost unconformed don't we not quest almost the empany Frank na because almost the dear Jan Qualano. Now, the first best 6 months or 7 months ago, and I'm a die and I'm who at the say, or how we best at here free Upper East. At least my casa as a natural order. Program is so. Never be do Ashanti region, now back Greater Accra. Never do Greater Accra. Only be one say we have built military within the military. Now almost sorry, the military no be G or mine now so no. Or how the could Ashanti region the account speaking areas more. Now voters the only more how we are West in Fubi Accra. Now the accounts ya ho be chien. Na enkofo epushi enko civil war but omunhu ye oma ye coup. The government has done coup against the nation but esa say ye dwens ye ndi ye katwi ano ye di ni ye mpese ye beka oma mpani no so no oma ne mra ye 1992 constitution onyusu now so ye dwens say papa na ni ye den o papa ndi na ni ye den aye show boy and papa ndi na ni ye den but wo hwemu a or how Asempa nefa obi a Onkomah ho a ni agere no ni achina tum ni atwena so na ye dinatem otempa chance hwede mami ko etiamra se ye to aba wo East Legon na wo be saji na so no ahemfo akoma no atum asofo akoma no atum enti we no omo boni omo ye nyina akoyesi ye ya obi anka na me be ka asem bi mesrew yen nua no mo outside the omo tie me no ebe se 3 months me da hwa nadwo ena me sorry pofrim ena ahodi bi kasa kire me first ahodi ni nyansa okasa na osi ohini bi aso daye kwase daye na che ohini bi aso daye no ohini so daye no na wabodwa kese osi ohini ya akanfo ahemfo ni bi omo mo ka me se ana akanfo twifo ahemfo ni bi no wabodwa kese na obodwa na ni kroma na igoro omo ogoro agoro na ye fe no ma dress ya ebinu mo ba na ncha abechia no ba omo ba na nche ni nyina na ebinu mo dane ayarefo omo ba na nche nyina na omo dane ayarefo omo bedu ni nche na ebinu mo nsa ni ho ebinu mo na ya chiachi ebinu mo ya bafa afedi omo ana omo ogoro no omo boban na sepo no omo nyina dane ayarefo ba omo firi nche koi na fe omo ho asate ye fe na fe ban na ye bonasa agoro na sa ye de en na ni tie na ni tie o dwen ho ana ne ye mo hye no ni wura free da ye no si yetiminya sa wo hene na menche ne sa da ye na se eti mu mpanifo na mo wa broche mu ni mo hene bi a o ye pani a mo ka so bi si obi aso da ye no ne nipa no ho ye fe ba o mo ben na o mo ho ye ta o mo kono mo ho ye fe meche da ye na se na sa wo hene bi a be ye o hene bi a ni di mpa enipa num da e wo wiase se wiase be kwa wiye na mo mu asema me kanyina ne se asema be si o man we se mu akanfo ho bechi won eti yen nua no mo wa brochi na mutime kasa na yesrem na Kwame Bediako enka eye Akrobeto ba sama me kan yi enka ye o now so yen hwe Ukraine ya na dwesi ya nya obi a oye good papa we dey oyinsem kwa papa we dey oye young boy and Ukraine say ebi na ebobo ba no eti esrem na Kwame Bediako mo kama no enka ye entafo mienu aba mo mpemu bia na so mo miehwe ne yie na si ahwe ye na se ye di agro ne yakeka che ebusuafo no ba omi afa konwa we ya me say me catch am so be weaponize Galamsey me kana Frank say mother na Galamsey bi cost wo srem share one the almost start community mining ya hemfu de be mo nkwa mo ma se o musu be do bi anya ba bi nidi da ye bi na me ka so ohene bi aso bi wom After the be near money ayarefo but ɛho adeɛ wɔ hɔ civil war about say obi hu obi ɔkatwa bɛka so ɔyɛ MPP ni obi hu obi ɔka kasa fofo bɛka so ɔyɛ NDC ni na nkɔfo we nneɛma ɔmo yɛ nyina kopagya ba so obi tutu okum obi wa bonten a no kita ɔyɛ fɛzɛ national security ni a obi bɛba fia be pra obi a ɔkatwi civil war ba o mo busuafo Ghana na akufo ado yɛ na yɛka ano ato mu no civil war na ɛbɔba no and the kind of weapon yes national security for the weapon come away no ha the weapon come away no ha no ebedu say be sorry military dey kita true it civilians no and the military na be sorry so more sorry tell because amole ni atutum and ye true national security for and na himfo ni asofo nyina come not to because joma ama ya NDC ni na run is a part no e te events the man from for party enti yanya de be bia ya man kwa mani ni o man so what ye the events nyawo tamako kan nyawo tamako asem no kan mate Osei omo hwe military omo free but omo won kwala wo mo de chese omo hu say omo mpanifo no person akufa the person hand over power the mass Ankomah so be hand over the amadwoma amade ene Ankomah ne nsai na mo say akufa the year mistake go hand over the Ghana military paniphobia they would do a coup d'etat e be serious achen coup bia Ghana area yi Ankomah o ma de say o man could do say okwansi o mutimi nya power Akufo can never give out power without a coup d'etat. Ankabe. Otenenka.
Enti eja na wo no wo a ugina hwe na wo so pe no.
Media dia me pen say be da bani a watwika ne bida. Ye fama na ansa 4 years time no. Satan na branch na oba no. Wo ho ebi de na asi. Na se ye kasa na ho de na ekosi hen. Media Ukraine Ukraine ye dia chire say oh ya fa nkoma comedian and the comedian ya kase kotutu no akoto sebe obi a wuntime ne nko ya se bono akobo ne yam no so
are you saying say na Kwame no so no wini a amanfo ba ye ku atia no anasa amemu no ntimi mu
dabi o wini obi anya ku ntia no
nti o wini o ntimi mu man sa na opesa o kire
me pesi be kire say ye de ku a edoso eku ani pa ka mo abomu enebu eyade si
ehwe no kre dabi don't get it wrong do a research sanya nunti ana wo kan we dia do a research na hu independent candidate for omoso abaye president party sakase no wo ho na independent edi manso ebi wo ho ana ebi ne ho
okay anka be ebi wo ma men ka se bi tro
oh,
but be oman yadu ye gitum so oman yase anase ye nyintum so oman anase
oman no say so we don't need those egu so say oman no
meba o say enka oman no e wasu duemu 2016 a eni obi ba o meka say Russia Ukraine war COVID-19 how banking sector or how ni amania me say ena ahemfu su hwe adwama ko atesem kwanse o say ohene kasanu osu okowesi region ohene kasanu osu it tells you say oman ni pesu ni pe dia pini sabri and the see also accountability na nkofo hwehwe o what them pajanse your mama no ba no ba yeso o yonipa chen obi a o ba omu ni say okitani po betimi aboa ma nkofo we na hodu nkofo na accountable
ani nipa ba ya
aye me fan say enipa mabu man ni bi pen or the omo ko say okay wo ko ha onipa we say de oye wa ha
ayo network no cross en favor iye Ama Ghana hey Kafra network no oh Afiera
yay
Afiera I and now 5 minutes me time na so kasa
na dia na man you okeka
Afiera ya homte chese kasa na uka no wo so ye se parties mienu ana ama oman ye beduru bebi adure enti sabi impreduasa owo yi kire nyame yi akyerɛ wo sɛ mahama mbedi so a ɛnde na ɔko na ɛba na awurade ho nipa mɔbɔ wae
abeamentia na mentia tiefo na mensere nyame nhyira mu obia ma George na mama ba me mani nyina betia mu maja Ismail ana dia mete me papa nka ni wura fi mi o wadi fufuo saa ni wura fi ni ba e bendai abrade a metia o abe
menia
papa no ba na se obeye campaign a NDC a omra no meka NDC policies.
That's all. What the NDC so aye. But you kekenya enti na mepe Danny Mens asem no. He is a typical NDC man on the platform. He is talking about Mahama, what Mahama can do, what Mahama has done. But who the threat bro.
Na Sadia na oba ya oba ke Canada papa ye no onya adwe why me de me no onya adwe because mama ono wontimi hodu obia accountability because ono ne nkrofo a no oma diga na sika wa ban mu no omo kopa achew ama kufu ado de cheye enti NDC ni MPP no obia ni wa obetimi ati obi di na atu prison me ka kire opre owura ebiso mu nyina omo ye corrupt ana omo say abusuafo ye nuanom enti no omo ka omo tam adjuma no de say independent candidate badia omo adjuma na gu enti na NDC kasa o say MPP kasa o say NDC enti owura yesrawo yansu emu binu nyankopon sira ye wa ma ye odoma tede ye ye ntiretere ana wasa ma ye hunumu ana abrewa na tete ye tetifo manti na ehunumu ye nananom adoma tede ye ana nyankopon de chewom saa honhom ne bi we so erinti na kane no o ya de a una na betiba hwe odin ni waka tro se adwa mansa saa de a woyi mahu na wanyaye a esunsun sanso no eni sei ana sei na ye boy nananom beye no na nyesa na ye ehunumu honhom a onyankopon de ama omo a omo di hunu yankola no yensemu sade ye beye no mbetenetene yan ama yankoto amaniem sa ananetie epiesrew sa wo ehunumu na ada akasa eya mfa ma platform we so na mekase se ya nto amajon mama de akufu ado beye ku na John mama nkoa na betimi ahodu akufu ado accountability papa yesrew enye no kure ade ba kwa Ghana fo ye gina so to aba ma na nado pa aye kata so ne proye ni egidie nyina nim se oba beti NDC ni MPP agum I protect the first and so NDC ni ana oda prison abuka pele kura na na yi ni free prison ana meboa
ai
na nado ata yi ona prison ade no yi politician ade no wajai citizen no NDC ni MPP you wash my back I wash your back mama eni obi a wo betina tum obi kodi ayi koto okube e Brazil ya prepare white paper ye bibia wie no tam nipa no esa ne ko share ne presidency president Kofo ne ka say corruption free Adam Bresunti NDC ni MPP no o ma usa de ni free Adam Bresunti o ma establish ana de say wo man no nti ka oba ya na obeka say ya nto abana ama independent candidate ya ono ana betimi aboa ade sa enkrofo nyina badwen sakrem efiri se ebe ma o mu nsusu ye bone ni o madwen ni nyina asesa hu se afi de Ghana fo hu nyansa ato aba no ede ama o fa ahodie ene o mo man kekere erinti yankotuma NDC ni MPP na timpentimpe ni basabasa ma Ghana na ye pasum due na ababunu nso asole a ni nimdie wo man kekere mu ugusa no ekwan ofaso a wo kirekire mu na se ugusa John mama ne bawumia ne kwan o mbefaso adekire o man ne kora o mu ni mu nkire mu a we bibi nsi ukwan sha wo ankasa dowo a wo ho efiri se when you bring a walk to a man this in the MPP, or to a banny, over Sabisu. It's the soon one and out 2016 is soon one and yet, Nagan and yet, engineer to a better John Mama. A good for the year movie, said, and could I want to mean we are 500,000, a Braquano, your position in mind. Ghana for an to a banner, and yet the 2 John Mama. And a good for Dubai and I West. And a party me and Union campaign that Dana no more yet. And tis a wusha and some that Dana almost can no moon to me and yet. A Juma yen to me being fact is almost to me sissy. And my own to me Jumania or transportation system and ye or hospital system and ye. Who seek a summer and ye, there be a quota be a social baby. I am a minimum digger. Or man who had done a ball. And no, a home far who dear Yankopon. Aturato the 8-9. Nyankopon aturato se ne man a woni yen no obema ye fa ahudi 440 years sa fa ahudi no na sese adwene ho sa fa ahudi no ana brofu yi eso mo mfa mayeda enti Kwame Nkrumah beje fa ahudi no ma yen no ana omo ekufu adu yi ene na busuafo ene Ghana fo binom e kabo mu a omopamo Kwame Nkrumah e free ho no Ghana ntini ko na nimdiem na yenya amayoko bi aso a wabegina ho a watimi de Ghana nsem aye campaign ati se de na Kwame Bediako e de Ghana nsem aye campaign ene ne chikire ene nti ye ka se sabra ye wo mu eye bre se oman biara wadin wakonko aso mu ache no wode wo ho sabre ya ye wo mu ene nti abrofuna to the new world order. I don't know say Ghana for aso for ne Ghana for ahimfo ene Ghana journalism for motiviase we bia na sembusa no Ghana for etiviase we bi new world na ene nti ya establish no Ghana for ka hu bi ma sembusa titia no na se Ghana for ka hu bi dia na se ye se ampa ye wa asofo wa difo ewo Ghana man ni mu a sa bre weyi a ya se hu nkom ewo Bible mu a ewo Daniel numanu no se ya himfu ehu na ombeboa ama basabasa asi wo Ghana na se wo mu a o starte ne se na be da bia na menene ya dwen pa eye basabasa ebetumi asi Ghana edi enti na mekasa adenti ana abrantie ya ye frane sedui oye na sante hini bodyguard yo so ye ne somfu otimi kokogina ebrumam na okokasa me ba ha ne bema bia ni ha bema wa ha wo mpie mra na sa abrantie wa say ka somni bi say ye na sante hini ma ne kwan ya obetimi akodoma akotwa wa hini biti ade aba ni nyina security service amowo manum akufu dampale adia etimidi akomba ede civil war tega eba ntenten ene di abrantie sedui eye no enanu kwasiada ye na sante hini kwa yiase se nura usene nansan sa brantie timi ko gina ebrumam ekase de mabia nia womo da mo ho amu wie ya omo kono ana buo toto ekoba amu ya sa ekoye etu a nanka sebo wore nsate ya no boko ani wale fo ntokwa kuraba omia ani akufu ado ani ahemfo amu Ghana ha asofo ni adifo ni malamfo ane na nanam ntrankonwa sofo muntimi survey aso man na mu akwari die ma ya yesa akoka bigum na sa brantie sedu ase hwan no wono ofiri he 1 mile wona wode watutu ntoma na ekwa yie wasa t-shirt ekoko so trouble ewo bi mamu etidampale 1 ana 1 abrantie do Na me sa me sre me busa o. Ye na asante ne okwa yie no na o se wo okọ. No no hini bi akọkọ ana. Enti what sorry. Akọjire obi krom se, e ma bia ni krom ha. Na abatu a ye koto no. Samu amu ya ahemfo. Na mo ya ahemfo a, mo ya ahufo.
This is the reason why I've canceled my internet.
Mo ya ahufo. Na mo nim bra. Ye wom. Samu ba sore aka mo manfo abom. Na ya kimo meme aka tira brofo se. Sabra ye womi. Ya bra enen kwasom. Samu ba fa ye dopade ekọ. Say ye maye mobo. Say Nana Kwame Ghana 70
276
constituency, almost 1,000 communities.
1,270 something communities.
Nasa wo hia. Ufrinka ya na bansawam ajemen ayimensa. What to say Sodom and Gomorrah. Any part when you are at Abrabojum, and when you're afraid of Sodom and Gomorrah, or Jamuna Ghana, mine, yet. Yapaya, who are you? We are seeing none of some Mosa Akodia. Namu from Lantan Maburi and Dimati. Namu Tuma make a trouble for say. Enough is enough. Ya japa dia masua adekwa ekromu yentimi anemo nya sanse se ni biem samoni yentenase anya sise afoforo yensu ye benya ye se aye huge ya de ba tetere aman a enough is enough anu dia mompere o anu dia mompere we na me na nan mu charity ana me na nan mu charity to ha na mo ka hu bi Oma etwa ya mutino ayamoa. Say mo de etwa muti anka mo da so te ase. Ka mo wi.
Hey Ghana. Ama
abedi ade a. Wo mo put to me. Na so mo nim so mo ye slave. Abe. Me say every akufu ado so. Edi be si mi a me ka say ya me kuta Ghana passport wa. Ni din ya Ghana ni a. Ghana passport ni kura me eno ye slave ye sovereignty country no ho na me nim sa ahemfo no ene amanyofo no beka ho asem ana o muni ho ahoden ana o maya de mu nananom abawura mu ana ahwede o matidifo eye o mo bo akon hwema sadi obroni ahuru say ye millennium ye new world order eti sawo wani ana ho no ye kan tokoma wo na wo ko a wo ba ko awie ni aye order na wie a amman a wo bedi wo ba hye na se wo nkwa na nyina na so kamera esese ye different kwaso mu ane sa bere ye a ye wo mu anu ne fa new world order. Where are we participate? Where is our stand?
Where are we participating?
Huh?
Where are we participating?
Participating. Participate. There's a wo ya uchafa. Ujina breway.
But where are we participating?
So, you know, I have many English. Because you didn't, a Chrome school can never understand what I'm.
I got you now. I got what you mean now.
You gotta get it.
I got it. Thank you, man.
Pate, na ahemfo, nimbra yewom. Aso fomfo nimbra yewom. Because me who to me say it's new world order na ye ka ho asem no. Ghana journalists aso for ahemfo. Omo na mo se mo ka brofo. Mate asem na mate na samonte yenso a ani emuntie King Jesse Radio and TV na ekosisi abeto aba no Yabaka Musa say, and she said, "Me cause for New World Order. Anything I done, na make it to America, na make it to Europe, and it's France. So many Europe for make it to America and Europe say." Yampesa yang Ghana no. Modi ho abaya testing weapon ground said the moye Ukraine no. Because when we say to break Ghana, Sahara State, you know, it will be easy for you to penetrate them again. So you are using a Kufuado as he was and he stays as an informant. On the Nkwasumu and Nanam prepare say, Omni Brunia and a Betna. No more my this year. Not Ghana for I am Kuano. And what do man amoye? Na na yes say Ghana for Munya Nifre, Namunya Aso, and Mabunu Amona Modoso, Amona MPP NDC, I say my brabo. Me who saw my say my brabo, and I'm a coffee desert coffee a poso. And if we could do a brochero, my dream say, Monsieur Bruni, Namafana, you uncle, no my babusia, no my cinema. The air called our Africa, because me couple, as from inside, I know the tone when I'm saying, I know a catcher say, yeah, before you, Jimmy. Now, yea, I brought from saying some, say, I'm one, only need the Omobeka. I'm boom, compound, Mr. Diamu. Misia dear dim weather, dear empire, but pen, a pen, people who say, the Viara, your manufacturer, we are here. A drop a diano, a diano, Nina, Africa. It is a one in the hour, dear. Let me say one year, mana, Yadia. I didn't know one in Diano. Abaji me Diana yade no no afani nyina no ama me ketekete anya sa unim say woni me nche ni yie na wonu si adwuma ni bi wo me kurom na wo manufacture no hode a anya fa unim Diana me so me fa magudi ai ya watomfo a no mo bom pete ade tutu na nanom ne asomde ne ade ni nyina yo adwumfo adwuma ye betu gold ni ade aye gusto mu na ma beto gold papa na mo so mo de akoye mo ho samoni entina ne anyansi se ni yie ebre kwa ye wo new world order obia apre ni dwetire na one ne yonko aman ade adigwa say mpene ma aman bi eni aman bi so biem efiri sa aman bi a wona mamra ne na mane enu ho ntokwa na ekoso no so obi ntimi decide ma obi biem eno antokwa ana ekoso a ebinum de omumoja edi twaso no na Ghana yentim na part of it because yen ne well jopade no enti yentimi fa ye moja anko twaso na mo ye de adwene ana beko santokwa no na no na ye hi okandifo kukodufu a parliamentarians e kosensan ye edi ajapade ne tai ye no omo represent your constituencies constituencies ne nipa na wo ho no omo dodo na omo asoma ba akopɛ se kokko semra afa ye ajapade a ebeton ho se de ebeye na ye benya emu de edɔɔso ho ne atim de asi ye man ko ene ekosemra ema ɔman no obi anya na sumdue enya na setenapa na bribi wo ho a ɛsɛsɛ ọba bɛbɔ ne manfo amaneɛ sɛ yɛnyɛ dwapadeɛ yɛ kɔtɔn ho na ɔmanfo yi mo na mesoma me mmara no sɛ yɛmfa ɔhamu ntitemu adi ɔkono ma aborɔfo no na yɛmfa du mo pene anaa mo mpene mo adwene nsɛn na sɛ ɔmamma no ɛka sɛ ɔmo mpene a mo de akɔmmerɛ sɛ bɛdwom akɔka kyerɛ aborɔfo no sɛ wɔman no a adwapadeɛ no yɛ ɔmo dea no ɔmo sɛ ɔmo mpene na emu de ɔmo peni and no Brunei democracy say majority carry the vote and intina Kwame Nkrumah de fiasia dodo no eye de to abama no akwasi Brunei no a ode mra ne ba ya na odidi uso no ohu se dodo no Kwame Nkrumah fa no omudi nkurumdie ma no Kufuado ni na busuafo ne wo mo ka ho UP fo ma boyfo Antimi anya Kwame Nkrumah hwe. It is a majority carry the vote no. Ayo broni na de ba ya the democracy na gusu ya adwuma ne. It is a maburu no. Se mu nyina mo baba twi adetrada. Na se makoto abani boom ade ama Nana Bediako a. Obiara wo betimi afatu Ghana ho. Because obroni no a ono ne party ni NDC ni MPP. Omo na sponsor omo. Sa omo ya kwahunufo. Na omo ntimi mo ma jopade ho man ma omo nti. Omo so sponsor omo sa omo miedu nkwa na edi adani ade. Anything na about NDC say ya ni MPP na esi akan. Na NDC MPP say ya ni NDC na esi akan. Ati sade enipa no a ewa kansie no ma na Kwame Bediako. Ono de onka hu bi. Na tese omo ya adwuma ma borofo no a wo a wo ya Ghana ni no won so wonka ho bi eni nti na wo de wo da so ti obirim eni nti kokoto aba ne bumma na Kwame Bediako na fa ahudi abrenie sa bre wei ya frano abra foforo a ya sese ewiase foforo tumi foforo a ya titem eti ani ya frano millennium government ana new world order bibia ya foforo and it is a Ghana for ya himfu nim na say your politicians nimu a na Kwame Bediako nkwano nim anything na o ka kire ye say ya japade no eno na say ya de tisire o man no na 16 regions industrialization no efidi juma no ebi mra wukurom na no na Kwame Nkrumah tirimupo ahimfu amu Ghana ni titire ahimfu mienu wei ebunu ahimfu ene asante ahimfu say mo ni abrofo no kokoma yai na munya se mokoso atiniya ewo mu kurom no na mokoso atiniya no modopade no mu gususu akọ eti se mu ni adi biara ni nim die biara mo foma hintan die no ansa ma mekretin tokwa ama yai Mama creating to come here. Seven TV from my hands, some no 2 million and I'm say konyam di si hono. One TV from near Brofono and Copri a jump at near my eye. And my aunt Timmy, I can't see and to see so my Monko Kuntokwa, near Bremo. Ya Bremo. Ahinia and Crawford good Brimu, Sabin Pradiasa. Na no kwakwatua maboso miana maboso ahinia ankofo gu fimu ahinia presidential candidate or promise 24-hour economy only factory ba kokura esiwa adwuma ahinia presidential candidate or promise toilet in 21st century na mo sole anama babruchiri ko babruchiri anama be slave na mo kotokoto broni na nanom ani so na mo say wo mo no na ye ne bre se be no mo so betimi agbahwete it's a normal stack one place o ma wura maboa ba ne maburu no mu o ma wura ye mu ani ti secret bia mo be ya tre bre se ye de hu free slow trade mu ani ti yana maburu a mo tie clean just radio and TV wa wotia brochire ha sakra wa dwen na wo slave dem le slave no nya o ya wa hu wo slave tom se woni ma me ka tro pray
anya plan fa
yan ko kituo ana yan ko famba na mo asujremu yan ko to aba no mana na Kwame Bediako sade ya moto ma Kwame Nkrumah Britain fu antimi anye hu se omode wi ni ma no na wojira so ma ye fa ahudie no ebra ese sanje ye fa ahudie na ye control your economy by ourselves any the ejo nyankopon dia man no sa bre ni any te maburu no obi ama we nwura na dwenim asafo no bunya ntro komse no na mo hu bra ye wo mu se sa bre we 440 years no Israel o man konkon na e beta akekere no ene Ghana no eno de bra no na adu no na munyai NDC ni MPP na tibi na munyai na nkromtoro na mo se Nyankopɔn bɛhyɛ ne ho animuonyam ɛwɔ memene da wei ɛpɔ bɔne bi a NDC ne MPP mo bɔ no ɛbɛyɛ kwa ama nyame ma adi nkonim efisɛ bere a ɛsɛ sɛ yɛn nso yɛkɔ ne yɛkɔdidi ne yɛnom na yɛdɔ ne yɛyɛ mfuo ne yɛdi aduane hyɛ yɛn ntaadeɛ ne yɛdi a yɛyɛ ne animuonyam ma Burkina ɛma Nyankopɔn sɛdeɛ Burkina Fasofoɔ ɛnnɛ ɔmo a na ɔmo biebie mo factories ɔmo yɛyɛ ɔmo ntaadeɛ ɔmo gyagyefoɔ ntaadeɛ nyinaa nye buroni dua biem ɔmo a na ayɛ ɔmo deɛ ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɔmo konkoden sɛ ɔmo bɛfiri nkoasom no mu adɛn nti na ɔman Ghana yɛde fa ahodie ba Africa na yɛdeɛ afei ne ama kwan ama NDC ne MPP asan akɔtɔn yɛn ɛde ama aborɔfo no ɔmo selfish interest nti buru ya maame no ya papa no sɛ mo ma no anya adwuma yɛ adidi yi a mo mmerɛ sɛdeɛ na mo brɛ mo gu dwam na mokɔ baabi so ɛwɔ wurɔba mu mo dwo nso wɔ wurɔba mu ɛne nti mo ma mmaburu no kwan na wɔn ana Nyankopɔn de ahenni no ama wɔm ɛno ne Nana Kwame Bediako Nyankopɔn wo nsiro bi biara na ɔnka obi biara ho yɛbɛkɔ so aka yɛ ho a akoduru memene da yɛnim sɛ safo Awurade Nyankopɔn a edubra a ɛdin mu na ne mefu no ɛna be kenkan yɛ no ɔse adeɛ bɛte anɔpa sesɛ na duane abuso ɛwɔ yɛ man mu wo a wobɛgye atini no wo na wobɛwu wonya duane no bi ni etini atini sɛ bra Ghana yɛtete ne yɛhahae no Nyankopɔn ayi yɛ Messiah ɛde na ma yɛn a wɔn Nana Kwame Bediako kame no mmienu nyinaa ho nneɛma no ho dawuro na Ghanafoɔ enya dwen sakra enkoto abama no abe manuato Nyankopɔn nsira o pia o.
All right, if you're rather wonderful display, Yamana Kwan wa display pa. Abi Batano se bonsoir Abe. Riku se Abe, we are going to win. The MPP elephant is now tamed in the bush. In the bush for 32 years. Yet those criminals will go to jail. Ikwe wisdom is speaking. Now, Riku said GBC Ghana is full of it, big time. Why would they distinguish discrimination? And that's very, very, very sad. Now, Riku say good evening, Ken's Jersey Radio and TV family. Riku say Nana, the youth shall lead the country called Ghana. Picholala Buska said, Nana, hashtag number 12. Because Nanado was calling for his ex to take over. Yo, we are sick and tired of these two political parties. Now we need a union started by an independent candidate. Osei Kwame Alan Chamati for 2024 say good evening Abe Makra coach Fira Joe Ochre Mesdran tenant producer Omega Ohine Kofisa for Mama Rosemary Martin Mama Babs Mama Georgina Bafo Bribi Besi Abnadida Franca Danny Ikweku and everyone. The Obedu please subscribe, like and share. Riku say Wuntumi is the king of Galamsey. He is the baron of the Galamsey businesses in Ghana. Ebusia Madam Wase. Please like and share. Jua Bediako says hi Abe Frank. God bless you. Na Ethicha says Africa is open prison. Politicians are prison officers and our skins are our prison uniform. Ethicha says Africa is open prison. Yes. Rebecca Bedina Isu. Miriam Menu says let's not be serious. Let's not okay, I'll say he is not serious. They are the reason why I don't even care about Ghana anymore. See, Mama Ghana phobia, womanim de, ankomah me abua, and care about Ghana anymore, and it is very, very sad. Akaka krana incoming president, ewie nasamno, yentie kakra, dedodo.
That's okay.
My name is Nade Anokwafo the First, Adabranka Market Queen, from Greater Accra Market Association. Please, what is your plans for the elderly men, women, children on the streets nationwide, begging for their daily bread, the single parents, and especially the Ghanaian market women? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question. We'll take a third question.
Wow.
Okay. My name is Michael Aboji, and I want to ask a question on sports. So I want to know one key thing you have on your heart for sports that you want to change, and your plan for the sports ministry in general. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. So that's the third question.
So I see industrialization and also having that within a safe environment. We know usually the challenge with industrialization is how it affects the environment too. So what's your plan in there?
Well, I first of all want to say that as a country, as much as we don't respect our citizens, we also don't respect the environment. The minute we start to respect the citizens, we start to respect the environment, because we will see that the humans dwell on the land. So today, our water, people throw rubbish in it, or they mine and destroy it with poison, and no one can tell them anything. But in the government system, they have EPA, they have a lot of things. One of the things that I saw with EPA, and I will say it now because I think they're deviating, is that they gave me a license for the development, and now I have to pay for the license every year. If you are the one that gives permits for the environment, then why have we left the actual reserves that has all the gold in there to be invaded? Why are foreigners having the best part of our land, and the institution is demanding every little thing they can from the citizens, knowing that we don't have much? So one of the things that I'm going to do straight away is that I am first of all going to say, hey, this blockchain that I've built, and give me all the information or data for how many people graduated this year, and which ones had high Q, low Q, everything I know. It will be on the blockchain. You can't change it again. It will be there. And then the law will now tell that specialist that is controlling our environment, be able to eat from it and create wealth from it. So that is something that we need to demand first.
What a brain!
Instead of saying, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to... No. Sanitation, all of this is just not working for us. Because we need to understand that this is the value of that will create us billions of dollars. You cannot negotiate. Once we start to implement it, every leader have to follow it. And one of them was to create the biggest eco park in Africa. This is going to be the biggest tourism for our country. It can attract the whole Africa. The land is there. It's sitting right in the middle of Achimota Forest, which can become our safari, our hotel cities, our water parks. One place in Ghana that somebody would like to come from Dubai or America and say, I am going for water sports. I am going for safari I am going to visit zoos and museums. We are not investors. In fact, we are destroying the environment, and we are also selling the portion of the environment, which is the land. And we're not even selling it to the locals. We're actually selling it to foreigners. Meaning that sooner than later, our country protect the water bodies. For us to purify all these water bodies that have been destroyed without the environmental specialists making sure that they were protected, is going to cost us as a country $4.5 billion. The good thing behind it is that we can get the money times almost 8 with that investment. But the money that they got out of destroying all the water doesn't come to 12% of the money that is going to take you to fix it. So this is the problem, my dear sister. If we, as young people who care about society, nations, countries, our environment, if they don't allow us to help build a country that we are from, that we care for and want to cater for, how are we going to do all of these things when there are people who don't have a being in that environment? And so all of this, I think it takes a disciplined leader to enforce that.
Hey, Charlie, Papa Lana Kaya Jakra, what? Como beni mwe twinshini blani bi me kacho papa la gbere tajale lejere file wade nche ya gbo godumo esere hala tiga gajale papa la gbeton akle egbele ni bi mi are ba against party bi ene bi mini sare kura ne kwa ogbojile nena kwa me ogbojibo kwa anyele Quoi? Il n'a qu'à papa n'a qu'à yo eh. Il l'aida. A qu'à ne papa n'a le et doit m'y gueuler n'a qu'à. Quoi? Mon cognale. This is superb. They cannot explain what he's explaining because they don't understand. They don't understand and they don't have solution, so they can't quote Nana Kwame Bediako and say what he is saying. That is the exact solution to our problem. They don't have any idea. All people know is that we were dibida on our experience. Look at this. We dibida. On our experience, but the solution of the problem is there. They will not even tackle that. Ebusia medemu si ha na mako, like I said no. Mamen kotra uba no sha bobe tu anama bada. Anapa ye bese abetoa so because onim Nana Kwame Bediako. And that me bufu me nipa no den na so there me mbodin but we ni bewu. Keep on. God bless you. Kofi, please, Ghanaian youth, vote for number 12 for your future. That's my man. We need this man. Without him, we should forget it. Oh, my pompa, oh, hello.
There's a pompa, and we want a quick one. Start ending to know over John Abagate, Colana. Oh, that's a will be who Hana. And I can call over Kagati and Theatre said, Mutimo Bia, Nawe, and you Kuno, in the Ukraine, no, where will be a comedy, and no be a business manager. I call a plan in Hano, Ghana for no other kind of this is not my dinner, Mamma Bay. Woman, you was the Mamma Boy, Biama. Anyway, Michelle will be a man chakra, I feel Michelle will be a man shampoo. The Korean will be a movie, I want to appear as a member, Jimmy, but didn't come already. Master, what do you know? You would know, and you think I know about who at the assembly who be what's not a Colombian fanfare. So, open sometime and this year, can't do what you Mama, Abada, you would obey, Mama, Abada, you would obey. Mama, bless the original radio to cut your Kundipada. I'm cutting your Russiana. See your Kundipada, again, I'm aware my yard, and this is one. Calling down that again, oh man. I know, we have to get from my child, don't tell me an engine. I must say, who don't pay you, who the end is supposed to pay you. Oh, you would end the only now, and this year, do me in your papa. A 2 months can't say too much of the I feel consider no what officer. I said, your cacano. I know I saw Cato to the Omomia campaign. What can you say? I found said that. And maybe I'll answer sometime the book. I'll buy and side GTP. You are your friend. MPP and Ethiopian workers, papa. And one said, Galantano, where would you say, for no, where would you say, where was say, ye ba ye ba chimatum munchi obi ada obi anchi obi ada every boy akonfo do so ma so mo ba manchi obi antu na do ba ye me ba ma chimo na collapse ni me say opuni kura 8 years almost 8 years ni sila opuni ye hu de akosi ni asem ye kana kwa ne di 8 years di asem ba ko kana kwa di 8 years di asem ba ko asemo so ya ska be create money fa ye bi no mo so da ko si da ma judge because you will no of the conversion.
Our Ghana.
Akwawe pa o ti Ghana be mu any wa go chi. I'm still Ghana for on. And you can no problem. Oh, and the woman me ma ya me kasa. Me never kan ya for the air customer said that me so that we no. Well, you can't be or see a friend. On the Onua, you know, Trump is Trump about how you know, the man goes to go doing now, never go so doing now, but now Trump has his own reality. Oh, yes. About much can said that, not gun and queen anymore. Oh, the worker, you come in a chain over American for my show, young Kalybos. What was over her? More trouble than medical papa. Near a young child, never didn't be. Would you conform you one? Now, what the gun on the king as I say, what the gun of the slack at the say. It's a buy a bedding, gave a good because you are gun and this is 2015. At 2015, and in a different room. Not compared and I was 2015 and in the 20 trouble, yes, I am. And yes, the end is before background when this was a Kunipa. I will have one way in the 2015 and one, I would know. It's never take a chance of winning today. Oh, banner for Baker, but your country. So overcome a pocket ticket over car. Let's say, oh, planet, they are plow. Let that they will check your own. Because you end this senior to Bianca, the comfort, collapse now, once on the Akaka, 19 holes, slam, Obama, or Pino Achobi. You're trying to end this for more, double salary, and double salary. If you have Jack, I end this for the money upon it. You're trying to go or coffee cast, go good fee. No Christians, signing your good fees, and no bar, or Casa, as a swab for. I acquire a coffee car to the camera, to go to the camera, car for the fire, and they'll see on it or your swab for. Must any Musibayo, the Musibai, and we say I can't get a force of one son and another Kwame Bediako, because that and some wire or move out to the react no soccer, and not focus say. So, yeah. So about whom let's all platform crown. We a young Sylvia now buying him no MP. I didn't see her because it's a real one when young area. I be Mr. Opon to the Mamma Pon.
All right, thank you very much, Eja Ishmael Owusu.
Binka the Seni, having to mean you said it. Binka the Seni, one for that petty Masia. Kami Pasa.
Thank you very much, Ebusiafo. I am Adom Ochranapa. Masa banti moma menko na menko to adwuma so na yababa bio ai. Esa na meda esa meye menko ye adwuma kakra na yamboa Ochranapa. Yebet Ewrade mo ho ban na onhwe mo so na oma ye nyina ni suade hunu embrem. Na yemfenshare the enemy. Ohima Ekuya say please don't forget to like and share. Greetings, Prophet Abe and all truth seekers online. As someone said, did the NDC guy brush his teeth before? Rebecca Bedin said, this guy, he is full of wisdom. Nana Kwame Bediako number 12 all the way. In fact, Ebusia Monfanchame na Diedrono Mankotu Jumasua Mwa. Why? I need to continue Ejumano Sadia Beya Debia Mubenya Bibie free ho na mwahwe nti mama mfensi wa ya Erade Nshiramo na roko no ye Rebecca Bedin Ohima Ekuya asemo Kofi na Mama Adwa Bediako Mamemfa a call away from Virginia. Hello. Hello? 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 Wentimi enjina so dia ane mama yemfensia. Miriam Menu Effie Child enso eba so Victoria Nano mete won ka cha mama otdan Osei Kwame as usual despite Rebecca Bed in there. I see Sir George Sly Wonders Bent Bronx Tada Ben Bronx mpacha what to say Kwabena Kwabia also by Richard Heyman na Sly Wonders ET Trends Hub also eba so Collins Asante to say na Richard Buama Eunice Nuno Frank Jabin Abena Dia Hello.
Yeah, along part of program no we omo
anka me ye wie ba mama okwan kasa.
Okay, the way the quick question. Me per se make up say omo we end this in MPP for omo wo DC Miami Bebia New York say omo face we end this in MPP omo bebo eduma omo to sa omo nyamania enkofie so omo face MPP NDC omo bebo eduma fire why say omo da so tre America hafi me fefi Washington DC
yo
mo say someone me say Ghana no two parties we omo boy abro but it sound say any breboni o say ye beyi o say ya hoya o say ye den o nana Kwame Bediako strategies are all the battle perfect move now officer said that thing say na me adumi say nana Kwame Bediako betra so ni say obiebie sa vidjuma no maya ni say a mass ye chioka almost over processed by United States sika who is san ko Ghana sika mu almost over like $700 for a month in Kenya and also close by $1,000 in a month who is say one and can be order of better promo tell me inka obi antra promo say but esa say o mani nyani ntino hwe da we are amafo ho kiro mo say e ba so yes so yet promo say so no ya mu so treye say say u ba okay mi so e bia na mi twi enti me je first de mi how ba wo so tsna no wo be banti say wo ba je first semester float na
yo
me person me ka say NDC MPP almost feel say we start two parties other year okay no almost say almost free America no almost got Ghana but then so no almost that's what promo aye den
yo thank you so much mo hello good evening
sir
yes sir me hoya na onso
I'm Adam here from Dubai.
Yo.
Really, so many my venture club and somehow all telling me on the concern say yeah, not Kwame Bediako, yes, I feel any that 4 years here. Ghana, the better papa. You can say, who can be a times here? Ghana here. Obi a ode course de o man be konani enye se kataso wo mi aso minka obi kakra o ke de enu a e koso wo sa eburo ni asante a o kokuma se fa aya o se ayi se Ghana na kasa o kwa mo cheche we ti mi ha asori we si ma sori ni we si se iti yi any be a bit more implemented system, a bit more gap will be a non quasi. Miss Hamid, go for Ghana, a story me, I him for me, you know, which but you took me out, no minister. Yes, I'm going to continue to be able to have an answer. We will be by her. Think of so all of you say, but no things be Abu Dhabi and I'm say, Debbie, woman, Kakabakwa, and what do you mean? You focus. And she said, this time, yes, only to be concerned on Kwame Bediako. Never yet NGP to Sakatasu, and soon a record the hour. And yeah, Ghana, don't forget to say, the man is Mako.
Mr. Madasi. Ayo. Yanga yehu igeti dano. Igeti ya abama udrudo bianwa na slide ndo na enu ebieno Ghana yesi afine bia baho. Enti enokra nso omu commission. Enti Dr. Bamian ejina hoya. Why e-gate into Obia the phone etwa ne ho ahia e-gate no oswapo na card na say gate ne bie oswapo a na gina ho oswapo na gina ho won say ewiase ade bia enye mpuntudwuma emfe eduane nche ne penum no wo de ye politics a wo de ye campaigner expose you nti wakade ne mu oye ya oswapo ye bia emie ana wada na ho no Kwafuma disappoint me. E-gate, baby, e-gate. E-gate, oh. As you say, and now by your fashion. Why yet you being see that we are say? I remember that you better in my dreamba, Ghana. Yanshe, Rodin Shiramo, Yabasa Babio. God bless and keep you safe. Good God willing, tomorrow we shall meet. But don't forget, this is the man. The man. Nana Kwame Bediako. May God bless us all. Bye-bye.
Meshia we, ajame mawugo. Sisa makoma mami akuma fofro. Papa mami nyo.